Your favorite compas have another jam-packed episode of the Four Compas show. In this episode, now that the NFL schedule is out, we're going to give our predictions for obviously the two teams that are heavily talked about on this show. No, it is not the Giants,
Browns,
or the Cowboys, or any of the teams out on the East Coast.
Buccaneers.
We are more of a West
Shiloh
Coast.
Sanders. No?
Yeah, exactly. We're more of a West Coast team, so or West Coast program. So we're gonna do Chargers and Rams. We'll also get into some of the winners of the 2025 NFL schedule, and we'll get into some teams that may make the playoffs. One individual obviously goes to the other side. So what four teams will miss the playoffs? And time permitting, we will do Burial of the Week and Una Mas. All right, HEELberto, do you have an engagement question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yes, I do. This is one of my favorite, what do you want to say, episodes of the year, because you're going to put me on the spot to go win, loss, next to the Chargers schedule because released. And by the way, the schedule release felt like 2 weeks ago, but it's only a week ago. But yeah, let me know the record prediction of your favorite team. Is it going to be 10 wins? I don't know, 11, 8, 5? Maybe you're a fan of the New Orleans Saints, 4 wins. Maybe you're a fan of the New York Giants.
I have not read your NFC predictions, so I can't wait to actually look at it. I was like, oh, I'll wait for the big reveal when we talk about it on here, but I'm really interested to see what your reveal is going.
Yeah, there's no more stalling. No, it's only May. Can we wait till training camp? Can we wait for the Browns quarterback battle before I decide what the Browns are going to be? 4 or 5 wins, by the way. No, call your shot right now. Let me know the record prediction of your favorite team. Willie Bowen, give me the record prediction for the LA Rams, but he says the Rams are going to dominate the NFC West. That also counts as a prediction.
Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, and Brock Purdy, the new $50 million man. So that'll be interesting.
A lot of so-so quarterbacks getting paid in the NFC West.
Oh, and that's something that's going to be very interesting. That we'll talk to once we get through the intro.
Compass. On the beat, let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So we're Compas.
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7-rounder. So
freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? This is probably, long overdue, but I was seeing Rolly Romero's 6-pack. By the way, shout out to Rolly Romero for beating Ryan Garcia, two guests of the show, 2 friends of the show. Yeah. And then it reminds me that I got to start working on my 6-pack. How about that?
I mean, I'm on my way there, but but Willie, you're missing 2 games, my guy. 12-3. That you still have 2. You've left 2 games out.
Incomplete.
So, yeah, we're gonna give you an eye for incomplete.
Well, it could be like the Kobe years. Crazier things have happened.
That's true. Yeah, you never know. Well, no, that year they still made it. Remember we talked about
the year with DeMar Hamlin.
No matter what, they were going to get through the 16 weeks. They didn't care if they had no quarterback like the Broncos did after all that stuff happened, where all of the quarterbacks were together, and all that. Jeffrey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get there. Had a good talk with my trainer today about what's next. So yeah.
So maybe in a month you'll show off your 6-pack.
I will
add it to the intro as well.
Nope. No. Okay. Ain't nobody want to see what's behind this shirt. 14-3. Okay, thank you, Willie. But Jeffrey, I appreciate you, man. Obviously big news coming out of San Francisco. The paying of Brock Purdy. Is that his actual name? Like, does he have a
that's his name, Brock Purdy?
No. Like, is
Roderick?
Yeah, like, does he have Brock Purdy is his name. Yeah, okay. I thought maybe he had something like funny or something interesting. He doesn't even have a middle name. Obviously you were at the NFLPA, sick invite, by the way. You and Eric are both on my shit list. You spoke to his former teammate and receiver. Obviously he was only there What was the name? Jalen Noel? No,
Yeah, Jaden Noel.
Noel. Yeah. So he was there only his freshman year, and Whiners are bankrupt. And he spoke very highly when you spoke to him about Brock and what a leader he was and everything. 53 million is now where Brock sits at annually, I believe.
Yeah.
Thoughts on him getting his money? Because I thought maybe he would sit at the 40-yard line, 45-yard line, and be like, you know what, let's save some of this. Let's try and go and attack it. But he decided to go into all the way into the end zone. And now I think this is going to challenge the team. They're not going to be as heavy as they were in years past when they had him on a rookie deal.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised if they would have made Brock Purdy. That would have been made him wait. That would have been the shocker. You've seen the trend though. If you're a good quarterback and you prove it within 3 years, you're gonna get paid going into the fourth season of the offseason. So Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, I think for 3 years. Obviously not Brock Purdy being 3 years. So the crazy part is like he's a 7th round pick. He was the last pick in the draft, and those guys were first round picks, and they had more time. So maybe for the 49ers, they had to get it done right now because you don't want to go into a lame duck year. But I don't know, man. I don't want to get to the negative part, Fernando. I think we've all been in agreement. I want to say everybody here on the show, one of the rare things we agree on as Four Compas here, make the quarterbacks earn it. Make them wait until the contract expires. Who cares if you go into free agency or like a month before free agency without paying the guy? You still got the franchise tag, but a lot of teams, a lot of quarterbacks, they panic. They say, we got to get it done. We can't be left in limbo, not knowing who's going to be the quarterback of this team for the next few years. And they usually cave, Tua Tagovailoa, Dak Prescott, who got paid recently. Kyler Murray got paid not too long ago, but he's not
Trevor
doing too
Lawrence,
well. Daniel Jones was another one. Trevor Lawrence, hasn't lived up to the hype just yet. Jordan Love got paid after 1 year, and he kind of had a rocky second year last year.
Well, Kirk Cousins has been paid like 8 times over, and he has yet to make his mark either.
These are countless examples of quarterbacks who are probably not worth the money, but time and time again the teams pay for it. I get it, but I'll say this about the 49ers. I think ever since, remember that training camp with the 49ers when Kyle Shanahan had Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, and Brock Purdy, and then Purdy worked his butt off to come back and be healthy and take the job from Lance and Darnold. They traded Lance, they traded Darnold. Like Kevin O'Connell wanted Darnold. I'm sure Kyle Shanahan saw some flashes in Darnold and said, you know what, Brock Purdy's my guy. I don't care. So I think from that point on and going to the Super Bowl, he proved his worth. So whatever happened last year, they didn't really care about it.
No, I agree.
Fernando?
No, you're good. No, I was gathering my thoughts. I agree. We all know the deficiencies that Brock Purdy has, and that team has a lot of question marks around him. I was surprised that when they received reportedly a 2nd-round pick for George Kittle, they didn't run with it and say, yeah, let's do it. Let's trade him away. He's 32 years old. He's up there. And I know the contract that I think he has glasses. He works for The Athletic now. What's his name? He's Bay Area. Michael, it's not Lombardi. It's not anything like that. He's
I know who you're talking about.
Michael Silver. Michael Silver.
Oh, yeah.
I think Silver was the one that said that somebody offered them a 2nd-round pick. So I thought that would have been a really good move for the 49ers, especially with all the talent that was there at tight end in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
They could have definitely made the move.
So he got locked down. Purdy, Warner. That's a lot of these guys getting paid.
I agree with paying Warner. I think Warner's the best middle linebacker in the game, if not top 3. But I definitely agreed with that. I just the George Kittle one also is like, I think it's like every year. I think it's a 2-year contract from what I remember. I read.
I think it was short
year deal. Yeah, and they can get out of it. But still, I thought for a 32-year-old tight end that would have been good. What's Christian McCaffrey going to be like this year with what he has in his knees? So there's a lot of question marks around the 49ers. Now, they do have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. I think they're 2nd in the NFL with the easiest schedule, or 1st, actually. But I still feel like
nice.
You know what?
That first month for them is pretty nice.
Oh, see, yeah, that's so they have a chance to do something, but they were just a bad football team last year that had injuries. They haven't fixed that offensive line either. They're still relying on Trent Williams and a bunch of guys everywhere else. So I just don't know if that was the right move. It's not like they're one of these teams that they're ready to make the next step. I would have called Purdy's bluff and been like, okay, if you want to leave, you can leave. I mean, don't you have a coach that supposedly could put you and me and Vic and Dan at quarterback and make us into an all-pro? So why didn't you just do that and go get another guy out of the draft and do that with him? So
you got Mac Jones on the roster, who you wanted all along.
And supposedly they believe that he could be a starter. So, I mean, maybe that's what Mac Jones needs, going to rehab and learning how to be a quarterback again. But I definitely think that they should have kind of been like, you know what, we're gonna play possum with you. Let's see what you can do, and if you can't, then adios, muchacho. So, but they obviously caved, and now they paid him. We'll see what he can do this year. But I just feel bad for this guy because if halfway through the year they've won 4 games, they've lost 9. They turn around and they're like, you know what? Like the media starts coming down hard on him. Fans start coming down hard on him. He starts getting booed and stuff. It gets rough if you don't live up to that contract. I mean, look at the Dolphins fans are starting to really jump on the, hey, it's time to have Tua Tagovailoa jump ship and send him overboard. Well, that's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but still, like throw him overboard. It's time for a new coach, a new quarterback, and so I don't know. I'm really interested to see what the 49ers are going to look like this year, because I find it hard to believe that Lynch and Shanahan would be on the hot seat. They just signed contract extensions after losing the Super Bowl, I believe, but Brock Purdy's not going anywhere with that contract. So it's,
they wouldn't let Lynch pay all these guys and then have them on the hot seat.
They're all there for a while. So 49ers fans better strap in and get ready, because you're going to be seeing those guys for the next at least 3 seasons.
Honestly, Fernando, it kind of reminds me of what the Rams did, when they traded Jalen Ramsey or let go. Yeah, I think they traded Jalen Ramsey. And
they traded him.
They got rid of a bunch of guys, and they just said Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, you're it. You're staying. The rest of y'all take a hike. We're going to rebuild here around these 3 guys. There's more guys in the 49ers, honestly, but it feels similar because that defense is pretty empty right now. Yeah, well, they got the ring.
If you had the ring, that's the problem with Kyle Shanahan. If you had the ring, nobody would be. If you would have beat the Chiefs 2 years ago, nobody would be saying anything about this contract. Nobody would be saying anything about you. Nobody would be saying anything about Lynch. And then you just lost you lost a lot of quarterback or cornerback talent. You traded away Deebo Samuel, which obviously we don't know for better or for worse what that's going to look like. You've moved on to some players, and we'll see what this team looks like. But again, with the Rams, nobody batted an eye because everybody says trust the process with Les Snead and Sean McVay. Over here, you can't say trust the process because now, I'm going to be honest, people look at Kyle Shanahan as more of the one that choked against the Patriots than they do Dan Quinn, because it was his offense that kind of shat the bed there and didn't run the football 3 straight times.
I wonder what Kyle Shanahan thinks of Jordan Hudson, having all this 28-3 stuff all over like social media for about Bill Belichick. I don't know.
Oh, she's about to. Supposedly, she has something else on there too.
Yeah, she got a ring, and not Kyle.
Yeah, she got a ring before Kyle Shanahan did. But yeah. So the Falcons. Then you choked against not choked, but you lost against the Chiefs in 2 critical games. So there's 3 right there where people look at him and they're like, maybe he's not his dad. Where his dad, it took him a while, but he ended up getting over that hurdle. He won 2 rings. I don't know. The jury's still out on him, his quarterback, and his general manager. So we'll see what happens. But all right, let's get these guys let's get these guys in here. Raul says Browns have agreed to retire Shador's number after he fails to make the practice squad. Wow, we're coming in hot. Angel says that Bill Belichick has won another ring. I don't know if that's one that you want to win. By the way, I'll ask you. You have to think that contract, that prenup is going to be heavily incentivized, right? Like she's going to have to earn that. She's going to have to earn her money.
He has a lot of control right now. Maybe there's no prenup. I don't know, man. It's kind of like what's that movie Heartbreakers in the late 90s, early 2000s with
his kids must be freaking out right now. This is elder abuse. Like, what are we doing?
Supposedly the son's wife is not too fond of the girlfriend.
Yeah, well, yeah, they see that their money's on the way out. But all right, let's get the guys in here and let's
plus one got smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, how are you doing?
Doing good. Just sitting here waiting to come in here, but yeah, happy to be on here. Can't wait. You guys had a really good conversation there. I felt like some of my points that I was gonna make later on were used there, so hopefully not everything you guys got to talk about there.
Well, the 49ers, your team, is that what it is, Vic?
Yeah, 49ers.
It was just like it's an honest conversation where we don't have to throw all the crap at Brock Purdy that other people are.
Yeah.
But it's just an honest conversation where he has won, huh?
I feel like Vic's gonna be positive with the 49ers. We've been
yeah.
We'll be
well,
negative.
I mean,
you'll be
like I said, first place, easy schedule. I mean that happen,
exactly.
So.
Sorry,
don't see it, somebody's not gonna be happy. We're keeping them waiting. So
I know what it is. Herbert likes to keep me in the green room forever. Like, my God. Just because Frown probably told I was day drinking, Tom, almost the end of the year, almost the end of the school year. Day drinking already, baby. I feel like I'm in summer. I can't wait. I'm excited.
I'm surprised you have fans.
Oh, this motherfucker.
I mean, Dan.
He didn't even wait. He didn't even wait for a second. My God. I love my fans, dude. I just want to say
you were cranky on your scheduled release video. People weren't happy with you being an old man.
They can kiss my ass. It's a stupid. But that's the problem I have with people. I'm gonna ignore this. I don't know who this man is. He's a weirdo. That appeals to non-football
birthday.
people.
Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday to the cheese-eating bastard.
Happy birthday.
That is for non-football people. I am not a non-football people. I'm a football guy, as my head coach says. I'm a football guy. Okay. So all that other horse crap is just stupid to me. Now that Frown brought a good point. Last year they did anime. What's the difference between that and the stupid Minecraft crap? There's no difference. They're not even original. So,
but I mean, Gilbert, you know, like football people really do like people don't care about that shit.
Obviously,
kiss my ass.
I'm a big schedule release guy, and I'm gonna be in the comments too, saying, "Dan, you're grumpy. Shut the hell up." And
yeah, those are probably all your burners, or you probably got some stooges over there.
Lucky, that's what I thought.
You know what's funny? Every time I get hate comments, I always laugh because I'm like, Heilberto's gonna see this and be so excited because it's usually you who gets shitted on.
I'm like an energy vampire. I take it all in. It's like, yeah,
exactly.
Well, I really think it's dumb, especially, and I mean, I get it, like it's content, and Gilbert had content out there, but to me, it's like it is also like dumb, like to do that kind of stuff. It's all entertainment. Like the thing is that we've turned now into
here for the cheese eating bastard right there. Little Coke Zero action coming.
We've turned more into entertainment now than what happens in the game. Like
exactly. Thank you.
A player loses, but he comes off and he like signs autographs and stuff. Oh, okay, you can't hate on him. Like, no, you can still criticize him. Like, I don't know. I just feel like
or Travis Hunter being a good person because he let somebody take a seat or taking their bag, but yeah,
he still played like crap. Like that.
The internet cares about him helping
now.
Now
it's more about like feelings and how we feel. Oh well, he's going through a lot. Like you can't criticize DeMar Hamlin now. Like that's like
no. We're back to criticizing him.
I'm the one guy who said he wouldn't win comeback player of the year, but what do I know?
I know.
Right.
You know what's the funniest part of the whole thing? Hinge was the biggest winner.
Oh yeah,
re-advertisement by Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, somebody asked me what is Hinge at work, so
that's hilarious.
Dan, Jeffrey says, "Yo, Dan, good to be back on here. I took a break from the Chargers after that atrocious playoff game. I only want to talk about football if it's about getting the son of Odin some damn
help. Baby. Jimbo's gonna get it done.
Hey, Jeffrey, can you play center or left guard? Let us know.
Whoa."
Dude, but like that's the funny part to me. Like I heard you as soon as I heard you start, doing some bullshit like that. I took the headphones off. I was watching Zorro.
You don't want to hear negativity from your crappy offensive line, O-line coach.
Listen. Just take a second. Okay, take a second.
It's true.
It's not that it's negative. It's like you're telling me this team is gonna do worse than they did last year. Did you see who was on the team last year?
Hey, they had a cupcake schedule. They only beat 2 winning teams, and both of them were the Broncos.
I saw the schedule. It's not that hard. Let me pull this back up. I said they were going to get.
We're going to do that later.
Hold on. Oh my God! The comments. The comments are hilarious.
I like Uber,
but they're evolving. I guess I don't know. Let me look up the schedule. I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I think you guys are over.
Hold on. We're not
Hold
gonna
on,
get
hold
there
on.
yet.
Yeah, don't
We
get
wanna,
it.
let's get real quick into obviously Nick Sirianni deserved his contract extension. We all basically agree on that.
Yeah,
Yes, we won the
yeah.
damn
You
Super
win a Super
I don't
Bowl.
know.
You should give.
Hilberto hates football, guys. So maybe.
Hey, I'm the
maybe,
only one that defended him when he shaved his head, and people are like, "Oh, this guy is off the rails. Get him out of here." Impatient people.
Well, somebody else tried shaving their head too, and it just didn't work out that way. So,
And he grew a beard. Was that the same one or no?
Well, I mean, when you're coming off a beatdown in the Super Bowl and your team, like, I think now he has free. Well, who knows if he has free range to do anything? Because remember, Doug Peterson was fired a year after the Super Bowl. So
either way, that shows you the state of how much everything's a joke. That because of his haircut, everyone lost their mind. Like same with Justin. There's nothing I hate more than Justin haircut content or whatever. Like it's just stupid. What do
Maybe
I
that can be
care?
the theme for next year's video. All the haircuts that Herbert has.
It's a
What
joke.
about Herbert golf narrative?
No, I don't care. I don't care. The only thing I want to
What's
see
wrong with cricket?
the other day, yeah, who cares about cricket? I don't even watch baseball, let alone that. The other day, someone wanted to run down my quarterback, the son of Odin, in class. You know what I did? For the last 20 minutes of the homeroom, I put Justin Herbert highlights. I said, "You, sir, today are going to be
That sounds like
educated."
punishment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want you to get picked on when you go to college.
Performance in there, or
What are you talking about? Oh, I forgot. Your guy's Caleb Williams. Who else is his guy? Let me think.
got
Who
a lot
else
of
was
guys.
his
Oh,
guy.
come on.
You have a lot of quarterbacks.
my guy.
No.
The one guy. Come on, Dan.
I'm trying to think
The
of
one
who.
guy.
Oh
from the
yeah.
Colts.
Your boy AR5, dude, or AR15 or whatever it was.
Whatever. He's gonna beat Daniel Jones. Easy peasy.
No, he won't.
Oh,
No,
you
he
think
won't.
so?
No, he won't.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Did you see the video that
People
Dove put out there where he's like, "Oh, he went under anesthesia for 7 hours to get a back tattoo"? I'm like,
Oh,
are you
shit.
shitting me? The guy should be going at anesthesia
I'm assuming,
get the place thrown into his
I'm assuming
head.
Anthony Richardson got the back tattoo. Not
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
7
Oh,
hours.
the funniest part was when Hilberto's other boy, Deshaun Watson, got under anesthesia.
Okay, we weren't
get
even
a
doing the
back
show when he was good. Okay, so you don't even know he was my guy.
I know.
But
you like to do that. You like to just cherry pick quarterbacks. That's what you like to do.
The second he started tanking in Houston, I was out.
Yeah,
Gilbert does not like avocados. Never forget.
Now, never forget also, thank you, Jorge, for bringing that up. Never forget he laughed at you last year for now about the Eagles. Don't let him forget about that.
What did I laugh about? Both teams got to the NFC title game and we both won. We were right.
Oh, we both won. He's a winner. He's
You
a
had them
winner.
losing in the Super Bowl.
I did.
Oh no, you had them winning in the Super Bowl. They were going to beat the Chiefs.
Actually, yeah, did I?
Yeah.
He changed his Super Bowl prediction halfway through.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
he
he
was,
did
uh,
the
Wrong with
side
it.
too.
You don't want to be like these people picking the Chiefs and the Eagles every year. Come on.
I give you credit for that one. Because you went bold, and that was you
Almost got
were
there.
like a couple of defensive plays away from that actually happening. So Sirianni, though, this year he's gonna have to deal with a harder schedule. Both of his coordinators left. We saw what happened the last time both of his coordinators left.
No, only one.
Oh, one. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Only one left this time. Gannon had
Wizard.
left
And
last
Jules.
time. So the offense might look a little bit different, but I guess now it's like just hand it off to Saquon or throw it down the field to AJ Brown.
I was about to say, if you can't average 20 points with this offense, dude, that's a problem.
and that offensive line.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. And then they got
Well, tush
what's
push,
the name
maybe.
of-
Imagine
that's
they
gonna be
go
tough.
99 yards on a tush push. That'd be hilarious.
But what do you? Okay, so what
That's
do you
their
think they're gonna
drive.
do?
That's their drive down the field.
Against
They
the
almost
Packers,
did that
that'd be
against
great.
the Steelers.
Every
I think
play.
They almost wasted a whole quarter on one drive last year against the Steelers.
Who? The Eagles?
The Eagles.
That's the,
The
type of
Chargers,
offense you
the
want.
Chargers did that too in Denver. They had a 19-play drive
Yeah.
that was like 11 minutes long, and I think they came away with like a field goal only. So
That's the offense you
Um,
want. Oh,
but,
thank you, Jeff. Smash like button. Help us out. Be a compa, tell a compa.
but
Shout out, Jeff.
there's going to be a lot of complications that Philly has this year, especially because I think the Cowboys got better. I don't think the Washington.
That's another one of Hilbert's.
That's Gilbert's team this year. That's
Yeah.
Gilbert's team this year. That's the Cowboys are a team.
They
to watch.
did get better.
Hilberto's. I don't know. Not at head coach.
He misses Big
Yeah.
Mike.
I'll tell you one thing. I thought it was smart to go get Eberflus, even though some of the shit I've been reading about Caleb Williams and Eberflus, I thought that was so funny.
That
But then-
is a huge get for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's kind of like the Eagles getting Fangio.
He's a good defensive
Yeah.
coordinator. He was
Yeah.
good with the Colts.
Yep.
He was good here, so we'll see what he is.
There's a
but,
reason he got a shot in Chicago, dude.
Yeah. So all right. So obviously Sirianni, everybody's on board.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of the NFL players being allowed to play in the Olympics?
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because what's going to happen when one of these NFL players blows out a knee?
Patrick Mahomes tears his
AC.
ACL.
And then I'll thank God. I'll thank God above. I'll go to mass. I'll go to
He plays
Via
quarterback.
de Guadalupe in Mexico City, and I'll go on my knees for 2 miles or whatever. I would thank God if that happens. But this is just idiotic to me. You pay these people millions of dollars to play for your organization and your team. Why are you going to loan them out? This isn't soccer. Why are you going to loan them out to the Olympics? Let the, people playing flag football or whoever go
Vic,
do that
can you
stuff.
take
Like,
this off real quick?
it's a
Yeah, of
joke.
course.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's not a good idea. It's bad.
Boston Connor, friend of the
program.
friend of all of ours. Good guy from the Pat McAfee show. He had a lineup ready to go.
Oh wow.
He had Lamar Ravens at quarterback, wide receiver 1 Jamar Chase, wide receiver 2 Justin Jefferson,
You don't need a
center
running back
Tyreek Hill, running back Gibson, cornerback 1 Surtain, cornerback 2 Gonzalez Patriots, safety CJ Garner Johnson Texans for shit talk, free
Creative.
safety Derwin James, and linebacker Fred Warner. I actually thought that's actually a pretty good team.
I hope Jimbo's smart and tells them all, you're not going
Anybody on the
anywhere.
freaking USA team.
It's like
But
the
okay,
basketball.
but that's gonna be the thing. Like, okay, what is it gonna be like in soccer where I have African roots, so I can go play for
That's
no.
hilarious.
No,
That's
you guys
true.
are laughing.
You laugh, but
No,
that's
I
true.
know.
We're
That's
Had a cup
true.
of coffee
No, I
in
know.
Italy.
That's
guys are
true.
like,
No,
no,
that's
it's
true. That's
true.
true. Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
it
I
happens.
know, I know.
Yeah.
But
And
it's,
then, okay,
it
I
makes
was gonna
sense, though.
say
Spread
that
'em- spread 'em out.
wouldn't Gonzalez be Colombian?
Yeah,
Well,
spread
that's
'em out,
Colombia.
spread them
That's
out.
But
we're
if that
going.
team's shitty, he's not going to go down there.
that's where
Who
we're
is-
going. Fred Warner could play for Mexico.
Mexico,
He
yeah.
could be our quarterback.
Yeah, sure. When he has a powerhouse right here at home with the red, white,
Tyler
and
Murray's
blue.
gonna play for Team Korea.
Yeah, sure. Have
Oh
fun.
my
Have fun out
God,
there.
that's the only
If
place
you
he'll
have
start.
any type of background, go ahead and play for that team. We don't need you.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think. I know everybody wants to really
All
say,
right,
"Oh
you
yeah, the
sell me a
U.S."
little bit there. Fernando.
Everybody's gonna say that the U.S. is gonna be the best team, but I think there's gonna be a lot of guys that are gonna go play for. Like, there's gonna be guys that'll go play for Canada. I think you'll see guys who former NFL players who will go play for like Canada or Spain.
Yeah, but those will be the lessers. The guys who are the 2s and 3s, not the starters.
we have to remember too. Chad Johnson became
Mexican
Mexican.
citizen.
He got his
Yeah.
Mexican
Yeah.
citizenship. He
Oh,
could
chose
play for
people.
Mexico.
No, I was gonna say, imagine if the USA loses to a team that's already built, like that knows how to play
Yeah.
flag football. Like that's what happens then. Is
That's
the
gonna be
US
funny.
gonna decide that they're gonna put all their money into
Well,
the?
Maybe the
That's
Miami
the thing,
Dolphins
that-
win
that
at something now. Just put all the speed guys on Team USA.
people are gonna laugh, Vic, but that's true. I mean, Dan knows somebody who was on like a Team USA flag football league, and he would tell us these guys don't know what they're in for. Like, they
Oh,
may
yeah.
be good on the
It's
football
different.
field,
Yeah, it's
but
different.
when they go up against us, it's gonna be a lot different.
Can't
Like,
be that hard.
and-
These are NFL players.
Yeah, but think about it. You can't break a tackle. Like,
No, if you're gonna give me an experience, I don't know, ex D1 player playing flag football against Tyreek Hill. Come on, I'm gonna take Tyreek Hill all day.
feel the rhythm,
I don't
feel
know.
the run. Here we
Bobsled
go.
time.
Bobsled time. Cool.
either way, it's stupid. I can't believe the NFL owners or
Dude,
Goodell is
I'm
going to let
telling
this happen.
the first. Remember, Paul George got hurt playing
Yeah.
for Team USA,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what team he was on. I think he was on the.
Pacers, I think.
It was either the Clippers or the.
No, I think he was on the OKC
Thunder.
Thunder, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Oh,
Yeah, and I remember OKC wasn't
That was
too happy when he tore his ACL. So So I definitely
the good doctor. The good doctor is gonna yell at you.
Yeah, from his wheelchair apparently.
Oh,
so
what's
I
up
mean,
with you, dude? Paralyzing the guy all of a sudden? What do we do?
That was an old joke, not disability.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And then I think Gilbert's feeling nicey because he keeps on going back and forth.
Nicey. Oh,
He could be the coach, Don Gruden.
Gilbert, what?
That would be
Well, Gilbert thinks that the NFL players are just going to run away with this.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't feel as strongly as Dan, but I think it's somewhat stupid. Like I always see players say like, "Oh, I think it's how Justin Jefferson like, yes, it's my dream to get a gold medal." He was there. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like to get a gold medal. It's a cheap way to get a gold medal. Like again, if the like you guys mentioned, if the talent is a little bit dispersed and kind of more even, sure, what the hell? And it's gonna be pretty much NFL players everywhere, and they're playing flag football instead of tackle. It's gonna feel like the UFL, or like nobody gives a crap about the UFL.
Are they going to allow college players?
that's what it used to be.
Are they going to allow
I guess I
USFL?
wouldn't mind. Yeah, remember? Like,
Yeah.
that's what basketball was. The first it was a college players, and then the dream team got formed. So
Luis
And the
Perez
other
is gonna be
team,
the quarterback for Team
too,
Mexico.
is we're 2 years away. Like some of those guys, might be out of their prime by then. Like I know Justin Jefferson should be on this team, and
He
Jamar
could be
Chase.
barely
But
hitting his prime.
isn't it
Yeah.
one player per? I mean, one NFL player per team is allowed. To
yeah,
be
that
on
would
these
that
teams,
would make a lot of sense.
Which I
That's
guess
that's the way
kinda
I
like
would
that.
do it.
Yeah, that would be better. One player either side of the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one be you,
But-
Justin Jefferson. We need
Like,
you.
okay, let's just say Jim Harbaugh's still the
Son
head
of
coach
a-
of the Chargers. by
Whoa,
then.
whoa, whoa, whoa! What type of bullshit are you trying to throw on me now?
You want Herbert to be the quarterback of this team, Dan?
No,
No,
I
no,
don't.
well, that's what I was gonna go for. Like, do you
No.
think Jim Harbaugh is gonna allow one of his guys to
I don't
go
think so.
and play in this?
I don't think
Especially because remember,
Trey
it's
Lance,
around the
go
time
ahead.
of training camp, July 14th through
yeah.
August 1st.
Oh
I think.
yeah, NFL. The teams aren't going to let
Good
him
point.
go during training
So-
camp.
Yeah,
Are
it
you
is during the
kidding
summer.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot
so
about that. Yeah,
that's kind of
no.
my
In the
thought
US, though.
process.
Could
Are
be
you
an
kidding?
easy
Michael
play.
Irvin was
But-
barely getting sober at this time before training camp. No,
But remember that a lot of these guys, they're in a what's it called? They're in a they're secluded from like the world. Like they're in a they're not
Yeah,
allowed to like
bubble.
leave.
Yeah, it's the
they're like
village
in
or
a
whatever.
bubble
Yeah, it's
for the
village.
Olympics. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of variables here where
Come on,
Or I
during the bubble, they would bring in women all the time. What are we talking about? I
Oh,
wouldn't
And it's in
trust
LA.
them.
Allegedly.
There's
Exactly.
no bubble.
There's no bubble.
that's true. I agree with this. Shador should be the starting
Oh, that
quarterback.
would be
Yeah,
hilarious.
he would hold on to the
Now,
ball.
now
I know,
we're
for real.
talking.
Fred Warner agrees to a 3-year, $63 million contract. I guess we all deserved, right?
Yeah, great, grand.
One of the best linebackers in the NFL.
Yep, very good. But I
He's
mean,
Mexican.
I still don't think they're going to be very good. But I mean, we'll see.
Isn't he Mexican and Panamanian or Panam?
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
cares?
Pick
Who
a side, man.
cares?
Yeah.
Pick a side.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Who
Pick a
cares?
side. You guys are terrible. Let's see. The owners are gonna meet about tush pushing. Are we?
I swear to God, if they freaking ban the tush push, this league is beyond saving. Like that is so soft. That is Charmin Ultra wet, wet tissue,
fart.
wet fart soft. It's
Gilbert,
disgusting.
what do you think about the tush push?
For a bit, I thought it was gonna get banned, but now I'm starting to think maybe it won't. I think the Eagles
Oh,
were trying
wow.
to call a bunch of teams saying like, "Hey, don't do this," and they might tweak the proposal too.
Well,
But
I know Jim is on the side of the Eagles. From
Oh
what?
yeah, okay.
Well, remember your boy, your coworker. Oh my God.
Connor Orr?
No, the other one.
That's
Albert
my
Albert
God.
Breer.
Albert
Albert
Breer.
Connor
Breer said
Orr
that-
is really good over
Albert
there.
Breer- Oh, you weren't here. My bad. You weren't here. So the last time that they had the league meetings, Albert Breer said that Jim Harbaugh stood up
Yeah,
and asked, "Okay, so what would happen if I put 2 guards behind my starting guard and I had them open a wedge for my quarterback to go through?" And and then the running back came up and shoved him or something like that. Like, would that be okay? Like, and so
supposedly
Jim,
they
I
didn't
guess-
give any clarification of that. They didn't even say
Yeah.
anything.
Exactly. So Jim came up and he basically came out with different scenarios to ask them how they would feel about that. And like Albert said that some of them were like, "Oh, you're just using a bunch of excuses to help the Eagles out." But Jim's like, it's a good
No.
it's a good play that they came up with we have to learn how to stop it, and that's true. And I
And
remember
the Chelsea
Tony
practice
Jefferson.
proposal didn't think it
Yeah.
through. Like they have a bunch of holes in these proposals.
Yeah, and
Oh, but then they
changing
tabled
the
it.
proposals.
They
Have you
tabled
guys
it.
seen that? They keep changing the
Yeah,
proposals
they changed it like
because it keeps,
yesterday. 'Cause they
yeah,
don't have it all thought out, and I'm like,
No.
make it wait at least another year. Don't rush it.
yeah.
Well, but that's the thing is that they're not run by an owner, so everybody thinks, oh, because they're not run by an owner, that's going to be the reason why.
I bet, Jeff. Give it back, then. Give it
that's
back,
why
then.
they're going to end up.
Give it back, then, Jeff.
That's why
Please,
they're
God.
That's why they're going to be able to do it. But I think it shouldn't go. I don't think it should be passed. I think it's just it's a
No.
good football play. And I thought when Chris Jones got hurt in the Super Bowl and started like grabbing his neck, I was like, here they go. They're going to use this play and be like, oh, see, like he got hurt. But in all reality, we know that that's not what he had gotten.
Rub
hurt
some dirt in it, Chris Jones. Shut the hell up.
He had gotten hurt on the previous play, and that's what ended up happening. But I give the Eagles credit for coming up with a play design that I think only their quarterback can run because of his height, his strength, and his stature. I feel like he's the only one that could really run that because I've seen the Chargers tried it once with Brandon
we don't have the
Staley.
horses. Don't give too much
Josh
credit.
Allen
We don't
has
have
tried
the
it.
horses.
A bunch of teams have tried it, and it's just not the same.
They don't practice enough. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
The Eagles do. Discipline them for that.
The other team that's really good at it is the Bills, but they're not as good as the Eagles.
But the Bills
I-
don't do it that way, do they?
Well, it's big Josh Allen pretty much, but they do it. And I was gonna say, honestly, I think we're focusing on the wrong thing with the tush push. I think it's more of a red herring here with the tush push. The new playoff format is the one that they're gonna try to sneak through because this is the one that I know there's a lot of conversation in terms of what the heck is gonna happen with the new playoff format because as people have been saying, like, oh, the Chargers would have hosted the Texans had this gone through. And so this is kind of the one where I'm just like, are you going to be okay with this or are you not? Because
what's the point of winning your division now?
Yeah.
But like, come on. No, that's bullshit. Come on. If you are in some, brain dead division like the NFC South and the AFC South, both Souths, you really deserve a playoff game just because you're
what's
in
the point
a
of divisions
shithead
at that
division?
point? Get rid of divisions and ruin rivalries?
No, but you only do that for what's it called now?
I think in the next
organization.
I think in the next 10 years, we're going to see them get rid of divisions and basically be like, it's going to be like the NBA. They're just going to be like the 7 best teams.
This is going to pass, though, I feel like, because once I read that Goodell was interested in all the, like, if this new format will, I guess, not allow teams to rest players in week 17, week 18, the games are more competitive. The TV networks are happier. No one's going to sit the stars. And by the way, the Rams, the Texans, other teams that rested, they all won their playoff games. And the NFL say, no, we don't want you resting players in week 18, week 17. So that to me is why it's going to get a pass.
Well, I mean, you've heard all the crap that he wants to do. He wants to go to 18 games. Now he's talking about
what about the money? That's what he cares about.
I want the first 16 weeks of the NFL schedule, or like the 16 weeks, all of it, like one game internationally, and then the last 2 weeks they could be at home.
Dude, did you guys see what happened to the Chargers? They couldn't find a spot for them to come back home after Brazil, so they said, you know what, next closest, go to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
right, so that's
go to Vegas. So the Chargers the Chargers get screwed too. Well, and remember, they're also the ones that are going to play an extra preseason game, and they're going to go to Canton. So that
you're maybe put a different team in Brazil. You can't figure it out.
Yeah, well, and
it's gonna be a magical year. It's gonna be it with all this.
The miles that they're flying,
38,000.
38,000. They didn't take into account the preseason because they traveled twice in preseason. So that's probably around 40,000 miles. While the Bengals are only doing 8,000. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
No one wants to see them, I guess.
But yeah, no, that's a good.
All this adversity, I love it.
For TV contracts.
Oh yeah, Goodell's ruining the league. I've already said it. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse.
Not for the owner.
And that was the other thing that came out of this too. Like, I was reading that Albert Greer article too about, remember, they made such a big fuss about it 2 years ago where the Chiefs had to play within 10 days, 3 games in 10 days.
Oh yeah.
And so even the Jets had to do the same thing where they played like on a Monday night, then played a game like on a Sunday and then on a Thursday night, something like that, where it was a 10-day gap there. And so the Jets come playing, and we saw what happened with their season last season at the beginning of the season. And so they try to stay away from that. And as you guys mentioned too, the whole thing with the Chargers. So
did you see the whole point about Aaron Rodgers not signing because he was worried about the Steelers getting a crappy schedule like that because he's on the team? Like, I started thinking about it's actually kind of smart.
It is, and especially because like Vic said last week, he doesn't have to worry about being there now. He'll probably sign after minicamp and just be like, all right, I'm ready to go now. He's gonna pull a Brett Favre and do it right before training camp and just be like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Don't the Steelers and the Jets play each other week 1?
They had to know. They had to know that he is gonna sign there. By the way, speaking of which, Apple TV is the future of what we're watching, and I'll tell you why. I left the San Diego FC game early on Saturday, and I was with Dan, and I was watching it. Well, I was driving. Dan was in the passenger seat, but I gave him my phone, and on when you go to audio, you can switch to the local radio station on there and listen and watch the game while listening to the local radio call it.
Oh, so that's crazy.
So it was you could do the national people, whoever's calling it, or you can go to the local, which was our compa Adrian Garcia Marquez and Darren Smith. So you could go to that, and I'm like, wow, that's going to be implemented pretty soon, where they're going to be able to do that, where you can either listen you can listen to I don't know, Mark Sanchez and whoever the hell he's with, or you could listen to Matt Money Smith and Daniel Jeremiah.
I don't know if YouTube TV could do that, because every time I put freaking Red Zone or the NFL package last year, they couldn't figure out where the hell I was. Like, my Wi-Fi kept saying like, "Oh, you're not at home, so you don't get to watch 3 games." I'm like, "What the hell? Like, figure it out, dude."
You know what? It's crazy. Speaking of this, games in Australia.
The Rams are going.
Oh, really? Oh,
and they're supposed to play the Eagles, from what I've heard.
Oh, wow. I think here's a bold prediction.
Brutality.
They're gonna go to Australia or to Saudi Arabia pretty soon for a game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're joking, but you're right, man.
No, he's not joking.
I'm not joking.
Okay.
That's a
It
prediction.
should be a joke. But
it's all a joke. Like, are you kidding me? It should only be played in one place, and that's the US of A, baby.
Mexico. Speaking of Connor Orr, he mentioned in one of the stories saying that I guess the NFL is so thirsty that look at soccer overseas. Like, they don't bring out their best for the biggest games over here. They don't give a crap. It's all
preseason. It's all pre.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one
so
thing. The Club World
North
Cup is going to be
Korea.
here in the United States in the next month.
Come on.
And supposedly they're bringing all the teams that are coming to that are bringing Jude Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe. Like, they're bringing all their best players to play in that.
But are they going to play
the World
them?
Cup?
No, they're going to play them.
No, it's Club World Cup. It's
Cup.
different.
So like Real Madrid,
they're playing Chivas, Monterrey, and America. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay,
so maybe the NFL is not as dumb. But the point was, like, the NFL is always doing like these, please look at us, pay attention to us.
The NFL is getting dangerously close to TKO and what's happening with wrestling and what's happening with the UFC and boxing. You're getting dangerously close. Once you feel and taste that fame, you want more of it, and that's where Roger Goodell is going to run it. Like, he thinks that going to all these countries is going to be, oh my God, we're going to gain new fans. No, you don't. Most of your fans from here are the ones flying out there and going to the games out there because they're the only ones that can afford to go to those games.
Send the practice guys like in the summer.
I talked to when I was at the San Diego FC game a couple of weeks ago. I talked to a Charger fan that I think Gilbert you would know as well. And I was asking him, "Are you go?" He goes to most of the away games. I'm like, "Are you going?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Brazil." And I'm like, "Oh crap, really?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to Brazil." He's like, "I'm not going to go to Canton." He's like, "But I'll go to about 5 away games." But yeah, there's a big. I was like, "How many fans are going to Brazil?" He's like, "Oh." He's like, "There's about like 5,000 of us going from Charger fans that have season tickets here. we're all going to go to there. And I'm like, oh, wow. So
Yeah, because in the favelas, I don't know if you know this, they get tickets all the time. Like,
No,
what are we
allegedly.
talking? No. I'm backing your point that's
okay.
obvious. Like,
Yeah.
you're taking them to Brazil, to some of these countries.
Remember what
like,
happened? The World Cup in 2014 that was in Brazil.
that
it was one of the most dangerous World Cups that fans were going to. They were getting assaulted. They were getting robbed. They were getting everything because fans were coming in with money. You have to remember the World Cups. It's doctors. It's people that have a bunch of money, people that are rich that are coming to these events. Yeah. There are other people that come from that put a third mortgage on their house and they say, when am I ever going to go to a World Cup? And they go. So you get all kinds of people from every walks of life that go to these things, but they have more money than the people of the countries of where they're going to.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised.
Like, are they local people or are they freaking rich Americans making the trip, or the 5,000 Chargers fans from the US? Like that,
no, that's what it is. A lot of their
that's not what he's trying to.
I bet you if you and I went down there,
in the local countries.
If you and I went down there and we interviewed every single person that's there in their seats, I bet you 90% of them are going to be from the United States. Yeah. And then 5,000 of them or 5% of them are going to be, or 5 to 15% are going to be people that got gifted tickets because of their company,
corporations,
because of whatever. So that's exactly what's happening right now with the NFL, to where they're getting dangerously close to, to go to SummerSlam in New Jersey, $40,000 to sit ringside. When have you ever seen that kind of pricing? It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Tom, I saw that. Lorenzo Neal, sponsored by a company that provides all the travel details to go to Brazil. Yeah,
no, so thanks, Angel. I'd like to survive.
A bunch of people are going.
And that's the other thing. Like, going off of your point, Fernando, is like, you want to go like to those cities that you would want to travel. Like, hey, if you told me that my favorite team was going to London, like Spain? Or Spain, like Dan has talked about, even Greece, I'd be down. Why would I want to, like, I'm sorry, like, it doesn't sound appealing to go to Brazil. Like, you pick another, like, there's other
especially
Argentina.
when you heard what happened last year. No, Argentina. No. Vic said Argentina.
Yeah,
especially because you already heard last year all the tall tales that happened.
Don't wear green.
Don't wear green. The journalists had to be. They couldn't go around. They had to be there.
If you have to tell players, do not leave the hotel room for your safety, why are you going to begin with?
Yeah.
So F the fans. Good luck to them getting there and everything.
So and that's the thing. And Vic, you're right. Spain, perfect. Greece, perfect. Like places like that's fine. Japan, fine. South Korea, great. But when you start playing around, it's Australia, that's perfect. Right. But when you start playing around with fire, that's when you get burned.
There's only one reason I want to go to
City. Gilbert and I and Eric.
I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous for that one. Like,
no,
that was fine.
There were
so many. There was like a whole battalion of army soldiers out there. What are you talking about?
Well, okay, but that's
you were in the press box. Yeah,
and
there's only one reason I would want to go.
And we got bussed in too.
Yeah, there's
that was the longest walk to the press box.
There's only one reason I would want to go to Brazil, and that is to stand in the shadow of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's statue. That's the only reason I would want to go down there.
Or just do what Dom
go
did.
Take pictures where Dom Torero has been to.
But I agree. Like the Chargers are gonna go to Greece within the next 2 years. Like,
I'd be down.
I don't know if next year or the year after, but Dean keeps on talking about Greece and them playing at the Olympic Stadium that's famous for what they used to have. So I definitely
Tom, I get that. Totally get it. That's my Operation Real Madrid. That's number 2 if I'd go down there.
But somewhere I'm surprised they don't go more often, and I know it's Toronto. Like Toronto would make so much sense.
Well, they don't go to Canada at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
like that's the one place they never hit is Canada. I don't know if they have an agreement with the Canadian Football League to where they won't do it.
Yeah, probably.
But
I remember they used to go like during preseason games. They used to go there, and they used to go to Tokyo and Hawaii. They stopped doing that a long time ago.
Dude, Alaska would be so sick.
They freeze
them out there.
Yeah,
see some caribou walking across. Oh, send the Green Bay Packers and let them all freeze out there in the thunder or something.
I don't think he's here anymore. All right, that was a really good discussion. That was a good one. Let's
don't get me started on Goodell. There's so many things
on.
I'm sure.
All right, let us go first with the let's see. Gilbert, I am putting you on the spot. Yeah, let's start off with this. Gilbert, I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, wow,
Let's
here he
do
is.
the LA Chargers.
I was right last year. I got the 11-6 record correct. So let's do
Oh,
it
you
again.
did?
No, he didn't. I don't
No,
think he's
yeah,
got
he
11.
Did you?
He didn't. No, he didn't have him making the
No,
playoffs.
He had him like
Oh,
9
yeah.
and 8.
Come
You're
on,
right. I
let,
think he was
let
9 and
Fernando
8.
believe it. Come
Yeah,
on.
you think
No,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
forget
forgot.
that
Yeah, I think
shit?
Fernando went 10 and 7.
I had him 7.
Your
10.
boy Nostradamus got that
No,
right.
Dan
You
went
said 11?
13 and 4. I remember
No,
this.
No,
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 12 and 5.
Yes,
I
you
said
went
He said 12 and 5. He
I
said
said
12 and 5.
minimum 10, high 13. That's what I
No,
said.
you went
What you gonna say
went
again?
higher. You said you were in the 13s.
Bro, I remember what I said.
He's
I
only
said
2 games off, if
minimum
we're being
10.
fair.
Minimum 10. I
Go
was 2
ahead,
games
start.
off.
Closer.
I'll
Minimum
find
10.
it.
He was closer
Fine,
to the
fine, I
record
don't
than
care.
Gilbert was.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can say that.
Mr.
I was 4
3 and
games off.
14.
All right, Gilbert. In Brazil against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Vic, can you keep count of this?
Yes, go ahead.
All right,
That's
thank
a
you.
brutal start
So
for your
he has a
Chargers.
loss. Okay. At Raiders
Brutal.
on Monday Night Football.
And traveling. Give me the Raiders.
This guy's an idiot. Like,
Versus the Denver Broncos at home.
Give me the Chargers. Finally at home. They're chilled out. They're fine.
this guy's an
At
idiot.
Giants.
Chargers.
Commanders
Where?
in LA.
Ooh, you know what? I'll give it to the Chargers. That's a tough one.
At Miami
Chargers. They suck.
versus the Colts.
I don't care where. Chargers. Damn. Okay, here we go.
Versus Minnesota.
Versus your Vikings.
Where?
In Chargers. At Chargers.
Oh, damn. Okay, see, Chargers again. Damn, I'm racking them up.
At Tennessee
Chargers.
versus the Steelers
Where?
in
LA.
in LA.
Too many wins. Okay, Chargers.
At Jacksonville
Chargers.
versus the Raiders
Chargers.
versus the Eagles
Eagles.
in LA.
Fair. That one's fair.
Eagles.
At Kansas City.
That's your first fair one.
Chiefs.
At Cowboys
Cowboys.
You're a
versus the
loser.
Texans
Where?
in LA.
Chargers.
At Denver.
Denver.
11 and
That is-
6.
You have
Oh,
us trading.
Damn.
You have us trading
There's
with
a long
both.
streak there for you guys.
You have us trading with both. Are you kidding me?
Wait, what?
We're not going to trade with the Raiders and the Broncos, dude.
You're coming from a Brazil trip. They're gonna be at home. Come on.
Let me ask you. You think Jimbo gives a rat's ass how many miles they're traveling?
I just said
Even
11 and
Pedro-
6. You
even
got a problem with that,
Pedro
Dan? 11 and 6.
Agrees
Come
with
on.
Gilbert's record. Realistically, 11 and 6. My dream is 12 and 5.
They had like an 8-game winning streak somewhere in that middle. I hated picking all those games for them.
I
Then you
had
have us
them at
losing to the Cowboys. What are we?
so
talking
Here, let
about?
me
Okay,
let me
I'll
put my
go-
Chargers hat on.
Not a
real
bad
quick.
schedule,
Hold on.
by the way.
I'll go with mine.
No.
Gilbert.
After the
That's why I
first 2
told you
weeks.
it's not hard.
Gilbert, I had them at 11 and 6 as well, but I actually had them beating the Chiefs, beating the Raiders, losing at Jacksonville, and losing.
Oh yeah, that was another one that I was like, oh wow.
Doesn't even fit me.
losing
Oh,
at
wow.
Jacksonville. Oh no, you're right. I had them losing at Vegas.
See?
I had them beating the Chiefs, losing at Vegas, and then losing at Jacksonville. But beating.
I'm
the
supposed to
Dallas
be
Cowboys.
worried about Trevor Lawrence and Geno
I was-
Smith.
I was 11.
There's
no,
always a
it's the
trap
sense
game. There's
of
always
all
a
the
flop
the
game,
travel that they're
Flat
doing.
game. Yeah.
Kiss my ass. We're in the playoffs. You won't even beat the Lions twice.
Oh wow, he actually has one.
Look
Yeah, I
at
didn't know
that.
that.
Where the hell did he get one?
I don't know. It was back there. So
Yeah.
look at that.
Well, that Vic's like location looks like a cave of wonders back there. He has a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
Back there, so, no, but I had 11 and 6 too. I just
Wow.
had like
Switch it a few
Gilbert and I
different teams.
differ on 2 games. Essentially.
I could walk in there and play quarterback and beat the Jaguars. Like, what are we talking
No,
about?
but the Jaguars are going to be tough. That's going to be
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
tough
schedule.
they're gonna be tough. They're gonna
It's
be
a
real
new,
tough.
it's a new coaching staff.
How do you expect them to put up points? That's my question. It could be, you know,
Duval.
this egg. Thank you.
Oh.
I get Pete Carroll's good. I've seen the Pete Carroll and Geno connection before.
But
Didn't put up a lot
you
of
go to
points.
their
over
Yeah,
house
there.
but
after a
Gilbert, like
long-ass
we're going
trip.
off
Come on.
of they're coming back.
Yeah, that's my biggest takeaway.
Oh, are they coming back on horseback like our forefathers before us?
Oh, hey, the schedule
Are they
makers did you a
driving?
favor though. It was a Monday. You get an extra day of rest. I forgot
Are
about
they
that. Sorry.
driving? Did I miss it? Did they get a bus?
Well, I had 11-6 as well.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
supposedly the team
I'm
doesn't
sure-
take care of the team on travel.
I'm
what I
sure they're
heard.
flying back on Spirit. Am I right?
You know what's
probably
funny?
the biggest
You know what's
problem.
funny, Gilbert?
Ownership.
You know what's funny, Gilbert? They'll
You're an
probably get
asshole. That's a
11.
good point.
They'll probably get 11-6.
I'll say it quietly.
But like they'll probably lose. Like they'll probably beat the Eagles, beat the Chiefs at
Yeah,
Kansas
knowing
City,
them, yeah.
but lose in Brazil and lose another bullshit like the Tennessee or something like that. But yeah, no, I agreed with you. I was 11-6
Okay.
as well.
I was surprised.
Eric had them at 11-6 as well.
Oh, maybe this year I won't be so hated then.
But you wrote about it. You wrote about it in your story, and I actually like you did the over under, and the Chargers were at 9.5. I believe you said over, and you were completely right when you said the Chargers won 11 games during their first season with head coach Jim Harbaugh, despite several holes on the roster. This offense should be better with the first round selection of Amarian Hampton and second round selection of Trey Harris, who will team up with Ladd McConkey. This could be a dynamic season for Justin Herbert after several conservative performances last year. And you're completely right, because this year he'll have guys that'll be able to stretch the field, guys that'll be able to do a lot of different things that they weren't able to do last year because you're number one receiver. Well, your number 2 and 3 receiver, like DJ Chark didn't know where,
to avoid the left
DJ
side.
Chark didn't even know where the hell he was. What's his name? Quentin had some issues. He played well, but he had some issues, and then so obviously there was a lot of different elements. But I agree with your premise. 11-6. That's where I have him as well.
I saw Marion Hampton at the NFLPA, and that guy is massive. So yeah,
he looks like Derrick Henry.
He looks like Derrick Henry. He's gonna have probably a monster year. Okay.
Oh, but don't worry, we'll trade with the Raiders and the Broncos. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll come back.
I say 11 wins, and he's still pissed off. What the hell?
I'll say this. I have them at 10-7, and I think for me, I think part of the reason for 10-7 is the fact that I think the travel is going to eventually catch up to them, and then you also have, I think people kind of know they're gonna know how to go up against this team, as we saw, and that's it. And it's a second place schedule too, man. Like you have to think about that as well. And we know, like, even with Jim Harbaugh, like I still think that he's really good, but you also have some of the rest of the league's going to catch up to him as well. Sure. I think a lot of people were kind of surprised by their defensive coordinator and his performance. I think they're also going to game plan for him as well. So I think there's a lot there too, but I think they make the playoffs at 10-7 for. I think that's where I have them, but you guys are a little bit more. You guys think that it'll be a couple more wins for them.
You know what's funny?
I get that, but I mean, they're going to self-scout. And on top of that, this is what I base it off. We won 12 games under Anthony Lynn, our best season in recent memory. No offensive line, no defensive line, no linebackers, and maybe okay coordinators. You're telling me now with competency back in the building, I don't have Tommy T and Daddy's son making all the decisions. I can't squeak out 2 more wins or 3 more wins. Like, what are we talking about?
But that family still has to fly you on Spirit from Brazil to Las Vegas.
Okay, that one I'll give you. They better not put some bullshit.
You know what?
Like
they did get a C+ last year in team travel. So
Okay.
well, no shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
better
Though? Like,
back that up with all the miles this year.
But
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
that premise you can always use for teams in like the only like it's like the Commanders, the Broncos. Like I get it where he's kind of coming from with everybody's gonna self-scout, everybody's gonna know.
sure.
Now,
It's going to catch up to everybody.
The only thing is here is that Jim actually has a GM that he likes, and in 2020 and 2012
they drafted very well last year. That's a big plus for me.
Well, they got 4 starters, and then on top of that, you heard it in where we were at, and I heard it too. Or you can't forget about Junior Colson, who last year didn't have a training camp, and now he's really built. Like today, they were raving about him at OTAs that Junior Colson is going to be a big time player. And then the pass rusher that they got, or the defensive tackle end that they got out of Alabama last year, talking heavily about him too. But I mean, obviously, we're in the point now where everybody's going to hype everybody up. Matt, how are you doing? Been a
Yeah, I was
long
about to say,
time.
Matt's back.
Okay.
But I agree with your premise. I agree with both of your guys' premise. Not well, Dan. We already
I
talked about
think
it. But
11
you two
at the least,
is that
13 at the most. I
but
said that
I
last
agree.
year.
Yeah.
I agree with. I think the thing that's going to take them by surprise this year, other teams, because there's always an element that takes you by surprise. A rookie running back that nobody knows. Nobody knows his style. Nobody knows how he's going to fit with this team. And then Najee, adding Najee also, I think is going to add an element. I know a lot of people are kind of down on Najee. The guy doesn't get hurt, and the guy plays very hard, and he's aggressive. And to hit that guy in the fourth quarter, you're going to be like, all right, like, especially with the way kind of Dan is right that the league has gotten a little bit softer. That, I mean, hitting guys in the fourth quarter, you're like, oh, dude, I'm over this. And I remember last year, God, what team was it? There was a guy in the opposing locker room. I can't remember who it was. That their guys were like, yeah, we're getting tired of that in the fourth quarter, having to bang and tackle. They were talking about what's the running back from last year? Gus
J.K.
Edwards.
Dobbins? Oh,
No,
yeah,
Gus Edwards. That they were
Yeah.
like in the fourth quarter, it's tough to tackle that guy. But
And imagine that also, right? Let's just say Amarian is productive or does what he needs to do. Naj will probably be productive. He's already a vet. And can you imagine if JK has to stay his ass with us for another season? That's going to be a hard thing to defend.
But
And
I still feel like they're going to be a couple players away from taking that Super Bowl step.
Oh yeah. What they need to do this year. What they need to do this year is get to the
build
divisional.
upon last year.
Get to the divisional. I think the LA Super Bowl is going to be the one that they need to target. My personal opinion.
Hey, Harbaugh, I think won more games his first year in San Francisco and a little less the second year, but the second year they made the Super Bowl.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But I can't lose.
Yeah, the second year he went 13-3 and they
I
won
can't
the
do
Super
it.
Bowl.
I
think
can't
that was
do
the
it.
first year.
Yeah. Second year,
I can't go and lose.
But the second year, that the team looked a lot more aggressive than they did. Like in the second year, they were flying around.
They were
The
more
only thing
built to
is
win in the
that-
playoffs.
And the thing is here, in my opinion, I think they've invested a lot more in the receivers from a rookie standpoint and younger players. Like essentially, they're turning the clocks on everybody else. And you know how everybody likes to have expensive receivers, but then they go young quarterback. The Chargers are going the opposite. They're going young receivers, and
expensive quarterback. Well, that's how you build a team.
This is kind of the first time, from what I can think of, where we're seeing this kind of model. Have we seen it? I mean, I guess no, because Joe Burrow hadn't been paid yet. Neither had Jamar
I guess
Chase.
maybe Mahomes, but who knows?
No,
Mahomes, but they're
Mahomes
kinda
had
like-
Tyreek Hill. Oh well, yeah. They went
he's
to
been
cheap
gone for a
receivers.
while. Yeah,
they went to cheap receivers.
Josh
in that
Allen has a
second-
bunch of nobodies as his receiving core.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean,
he
Jim,
chokes.
that time that he went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers, he had Michael Crabtree and he had Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis was making more money than any of these guys. Like I just saw the Chargers are only paying $17 million to their whole. I think it was $17 million, and at least in the NFL, to their whole receiving group. So that's pretty down there. But what I was gonna go with is they brought Randy Moss out of retirement to go with them. Michael Crabtree, Vernon Davis, Frank Gore. Like this team is completely different than what they had the first time around. So I'm definitely interested to see what they're gonna look like this year. But Gilbert, I agree with your premise about 11-6. That's where I had them. So we'll see.
I don't like it. I wish I was more of the bad guy here, but
You are because you have me trading with the stupid Broncos and the Raiders.
I had
do they play?
What am I going to lose to the Raiders? 13-3 or what?
Yeah, it'll be a fun game on Monday.
6-3,
All right.
6-3 maybe.
Oh shit!
On the missed field goal.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Then I'd get Dicker the kicker out of here if he does that to me.
All right, let's jump over to should I do Gilbert first or Dan? I'll go with Dan first.
I don't even know.
Dan.
No, go with him. I don't even know.
LA
who they're
Rams.
playing.
LA Rams. They play the Houston Texans at home week 1.
Oh, they'll probably beat them. I don't think the Texans are going to be anything.
All right,
interesting.
Vic, can you take
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
There you go. Let me judge HEELberto Ramzano's team over here.
At the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, they'll beat the Titans. So that's already 2-0.
At Eagles.
They'll lose to the Eagles.
Colts come marching in.
They'll probably beat the Colts.
49ers come marching in.
I don't know if the 49ers. Oh, well, I'll just go with the Rams. I don't know what the
This is a good
49ers
one.
doing.
At Baltimore Ravens.
I think the Ravens will beat them, and here's why. I think, and this is me personally, okay? I think Sean McVay is, worried about his lineup on his beard and his hair and all that other stuff. They're not. I don't think they're a very physical team, and I think you could tell they've tried to address that. Getting the what's his name, Jared Versus of the world and everything. They signed Puna Ford. They're trying to be more physical. So but I don't think they're
coach.
No, definitely not. He's almost like the beta alpha. He's like a weirdo. Like
All right,
when he shakes hand with Jimbo pulls him in.
they play Jacksonville. They play Jacksonville, but in London.
Yeah, they'll beat the Jaguars. They'll beat the Saints.
Versus the Saints.
They'll beat Heilberto's team.
At 49ers.
They'll beat them again.
Seattle Seahawks.
They'll beat them. Yeah, they'll beat them. Holy crap! They've only lost one game.
Tampa Bay,
2 games.
Tampa Bay here in LA.
Dan Ramirez.
Yeah, right.
God, if you would have said that better, it actually would have came out. Tampa Bay plays on.
I'll give that one to Tampa Bay. I'll give that to, I think Puna Ford Vita Vea and the bastard from Florida. My God, if he's anything that's gonna be a problem for him up front. But what is it that Matthew Stafford always has a good year and then a bad year?
Go at Carolina.
Oh, they'll beat the Panthers.
At Arizona.
They'll beat Heilberto's Cardinals. He loves all these teams.
Detroit comes here.
No, they're not going to beat Detroit. They'll lose.
At Seattle.
They'll win.
At Atlanta.
They'll win.
Versus Arizona.
I'm sorry, Heilberto, but they'll win also. They'll beat your Cardinals.
13-4.
That's
by the way,
I feel disgusted.
Ramirez.
We have to acknowledge on What's Up Bolts. Dan did have I made him do the Chiefs schedule, and he had them at I think 12-5 or 13-4. So I was pretty
wow.
You, the Chiefs
13-4 for Dan.
Yeah.
Who wins against the Chargers?
2 wins.
No, I think
they traded.
They traded 1-1.
Okay.
That's the only time they're. I personally think it was smart, and this was
Dan had them winning in. Dan had them
definitely not Jorge. Definitely not.
Yeah, Dan had them winning in Kansas or in Brazil.
Yeah,
because he said they haven't seen Omari and Hampton.
Exactly.
They haven't seen
new players.
Offense
different
going to look like,
yeah.
so they'll take advantage.
And they're out of their element. They're not in LA in a dome.
I don't think the Chiefs got tougher. Like defensive line,
well, then offensive line. They traded one of their best.
And
ones.
if the Chargers kind of go Eagles on them and just try and run, and then play action the way that the Eagles did, I mean that could definitely take advantage. All right, Gilbert, let's go with. We're
gonna have you do the Raiders, Fernando. Can you do the Raiders?
Raiders?
Yes, you do the Raiders.
Okay.
All right, Frau.
Go ahead.
Don't disappoint me.
Let me look at the Raiders schedule. What did he say?
I got it right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Versus the Patriots.
I'll say Patriots win that one.
Wow.
Versus the Chargers.
I had the Chargers losing.
Okay, you can kiss my ass. Commanders. Heilberto's Commanders.
Commanders.
Heilberto's Bears.
I'll say that'll be their upset. The Raiders win that one.
Wow.
Versus Heilberto's quarterback, Anthony Richardson.
Oh.
Everybody's my guy.
I'll say the Raiders win
You're
that
a
one.
Heat fan. Versus Heilberto's other quarterback, Cam Ward.
Win for the Raiders.
Versus Heilberto's favorite team of all time, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Okay. You have no one on the Jaguars. Jaguars.
I'll say the Jaguars win that one.
Versus Heilberto's darling of the preseason, Broncos.
I'll say the Raiders win that one.
Versus America and Heilberto's team, the Cowboys.
I have the Cowboys winning that one.
Okay, versus versus the Browns.
Shador. No, I'm kidding. The Raiders will win that one.
Okay, versus the Chargers.
Lose.
Oh, the Raiders will. Okay.
Yeah.
Chargers. You're dead to me. Okay. Broncos.
I'll say the Broncos win that one.
Okay. Versus Eagles.
Loss for the Raiders.
Versus Heilberto's Texans.
Loss for the Texans.
Versus,
for the Raiders.
Versus the Giants.
They beat the Giants.
And then versus the Chiefs.
They lose to the Chiefs.
Okay.
7-10.
What was that? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Not
okay.
bad for a first
Sounds about
year.
right.
Yeah.
Not bad for. Well, like in all honesty, this is what I was talking about the other day. Well, I guess it's frowned upon, but why wouldn't you tank if supposedly the next quarterback class is better?
They got Gino.
Yeah.
I lost track, Tom. I'm sorry.
How long's that gonna last you?
Oh, you know
Tom,
what?
he has
sucks?
too many.
You know who was here in San Diego on Saturday? I was pissed I wasn't at the game, Padre game. Arch Manning.
Yeah.
I would have been like Arch.
He was in San Diego?
Yeah, he was in San Diego. I would have been like Arch. We'd love to have you on. Jump on.
Archie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but they call him Arch Manning over there.
I
so.
wonder who's gonna.
Jorge, I bet his name is Eugene.
No. Let me look. I wonder who's gonna come out next year that'll make it worthwhile. Because
Yeah, Eugene Cyril Smith.
Oh, you already looked it up?
Gino Smith's name?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eugene
Where's the
Cyril
Cyril come
Smith.
from?
Huh.
You're
Dude,
welcome.
he's 34 years old. What are we talking about? Everybody gets all hyped about him because I forgot.
No, but
What
I think the
year?
Raiders would have a good opportunity next year for one of the top quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. Take your shot, Brady. Get in there and let him know. Hey, don't trade
Don't
with
get
the
stuck in the
Chargers. Just
cycle.
lose it.
The middle cycle.
let me
That's
ask
what I'm
you,
saying.
Gilbert,
Go for the full rebuild.
Gilbert, real quick. Let me just ask you before we jump on to the next. The ESPN had Jair Alexander the Chargers. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I guess they do need a corner, but why not let some of these young guys step up, like Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart? I guess they do need like a veteran presence there, but he's also kind of in a pain. But I feel like Harbaugh could, rein that in. So it's not the worst thing. It also depends on the contract and the trade.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot for both sides, but you flip like a 6th round pick and they eat some of the money. Why not?
I think the picks are too valuable with Harbaugh. He knows all these guys. I don't think they're going to trade for
true.
people
They're really valuable.
until
Yeah. I mean, they're
his
going
last
after comp picks.
until his last recruiting class.
That's why they got J.K.
like-
Dobbins back.
Yeah,
They're like,
until
we're not
their
going to
last-
let you after that
Yeah,
hell of a
for
year that
free.
you had last year
Yeah.
for us. We're not going to
Not
let
gonna
you
go for
walk
free.
out.
Yeah, 7th additional pick.
I would
Yeah.
doubt they would use any other picks for capital for trade until his last recruiting class that he knows
Well, I
is
mean,
gone.
Last year they had a 7th round pick and they got a really solid
Yeah.
safety out of it in Elijah
Yeah.
Molden. So,
Yeah.
but it's funny. Tier Tart was a guy that I remember I asked in Miami. I was like, hey, what kind of a player is he? And they're like, if a coach can get it out of him to get him going and everything, then he'll be a solid player. And that's exactly what it looked like the Chargers and Harbaugh got out of him because he was a solid player for them last year. And Puna Ford was a guy I remember Eric told me about. He's like, hey, this guy's really good. And I'm like, really? He's like, watch him. And yeah, he turns out to be a good player that now is on his way to the Rams.
If you see the first video of him meeting Amarian, first thing he brings up is, hey, you remember when we were trying to recruit you out to Michigan? So I'm telling you, the picks are going to be a lot more valuable to him than anything else because he's going to know those players, and that's his advantage. So,
Well, and that's what he told Joe Alt too. He's like, I remember I was looking at you, and you
Yeah.
decided to go to Notre Dame, but now we got a chance to
But
play
that's what I'm
together.
saying.
So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
all right, let's go to Dan's favorite. Stuff. NFC team record predictions from SI's HEELberto Manzano.
Oh,
Vic, can you take this off real
God.
quick? Yeah, thank you, Vic. You beat me to it.
NFC predictions.
All
Let's
right,
see.
let's start it off. Let us go. We're going to start off with the NFC East. He has the Philadelphia Eagles at 13-4. The
That's
Eagles have a
good.
brutal first 5 weeks, including a Super Bowl rematch, but the defending champs proved last season that they're capable of brushing off slow starts. You know what, Dan, Vic, and I will do we agree with him or do we not agree with him?
I agree. I agree with that one.
The only reason why I would be
I would
timid
go
to do
12-5, but yeah, this
is that they have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL,
Yeah.
but I will agree with it because they do have the team to withstand something like that, and they've been through it before, which is something that Nick Sirianni can tell them, hey, guys, we've done this. We've been through this. Let's just do it again. So
and keeping Fangio was huge.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. Oh, Dan is not going to be happy with this next one. The Dallas Cowboys 11-6.
Come on.
I don't think
we
so.
got. Oh, okay. I got 1 out of 3. All right. I'll take
I like Schottenheimer because of his daddy, but I don't know
That's
how
about
much
it.
they're going to have over there.
Can Dak Prescott stay healthy?
That
No,
I
can he
think
perform better too? Like he's getting
Yeah.
paid $60 million. This guy
Your
This
boy
guy
Joe
isn't even-
Milton.
this guy isn't good enough to strap up, what's his name? Steve Young's jock strap, let alone Joe Montana. Like, what are we talking about, dude?
Come on, they built through the trenches. They got another edge
Yeah.
rusher in the second round. They got a
and I know a lot of
tackle.
people are talking about the head coach as we talked about with the defensive coordinator. I think he takes care of that side of the ball. And Dak was pretty much running the offense under McCarthy. I could just see the new head coach is letting him do the same thing. As long
who's
as
been
he
there for the
stays
last
healthy,
4 or 5 years.
I don't see why they don't make the playoffs. So yeah, I'm with you, Gilbert.
I go
Nice.
because of I don't believe I don't think Dak is going to be able to stay. Once the injuries start mounting up at one point and it just keeps on being a thing. I just don't think he's going to be able to stay healthy. And that's going to be again. I have my prediction by the halfway through point. Joe Milton will start a game for the Dallas Cowboys.
And he'll take them to the playoffs.
And
But
one more
I
thing,
don't think he's very good.
one more thing to kind of keep in mind with this,
8
and I'll talk about it
primetime
later
games.
on too, is when the Cowboys have no expectations, that's when they do. Like nobody has any expectations for this team.
Cowboys fans do. Cowboys fans do.
Yeah, but I haven't seen like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. Like
I have seen a lot of that.
oh, you have, then never mind.
Well, once they traded
No,
for
no,
Pickens,
you're
I
good.
think that's when they started talking.
I only believe in the tribal chief and Joe Hendry. I do not believe in the Dallas Cowboys.
Gilbert, who's their starting running back?
Yeah, I worry about that. Who would it be right now? Is it,
It's the
two
kid
rookies?
from the Broncos.
Javonte Williams?
yeah.
Wait till George
Davon
Pickens
Blue
starts trying to
from
fight people
Texas.
in the locker room.
They drafted 2 running backs on day 3. Maybe one of them does something. I don't know.
All right, let's go next. The Washington Commanders 10-7, Gilbert.
Wow, you gave them a less record. Wow.
Yeah, I worry about the sophomore slump there. The schedule got harder. They're playing the teams on the NFC North and the AFC West, and the NFC East teams are all very good. Even the Giants to an extent, but I know they're gonna suck, but they're gonna be okay. And then I don't know. I just don't like adding Debo and Lermy Tunsil. Like these are kind of guys who've had some troubles with the other teams, and they're older too. Like, why don't you let some like one thing I really love about Jaden Daniels last year, he elevated some of these guys like Zach Ertz, who was on his final legs. Like he played well. Deimi Brown revived his career with like Jaden Daniels was able to elevate guys. So let him continue to be the guy with the young team. Instead, they went with the older guys, and I didn't really like that.
I'll take that.
I will go half. For some reason, I'll have them.
I think they're going
They're gonna
9-8.
struggle.
That's me.
Yeah, that's where I kind of am 9-8, just because.
Yeah, but you basically agree. You're off by one
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. That's why I said halfway point.
Yeah.
I agree with Vic. I think they're gonna struggle. I think Jaden's not gonna have it as easy as he did last year. Not easy in the sense of like he had it easy. It was just in the sense of like there was a lot of games where the game against Chicago where the dude's like waving at the fans and then the Hail Mary happens. Yeah. So that kind of luck only happens in your first year. So, but again, I still think that Dan Quinn's a hell of a coach. I think Jaden's a good quarterback. I just think when there's a lot of hype surrounding you in the sense of a second-year quarterback, everybody's like, oh, he's going to be in the MVP discussion, or they're going to be really good. Oh, he's a top 5 quarterback already. I'm kind of like, we have to wait a little bit before we because we all know the first 4 quarterbacks are all basically on everybody else's list, and the 5th one is kind of up in the air for some people. So obviously, we just have to chill out a little bit with Jaden Daniels, and we'll see what happens with him. All right, the Giants 4-13. By the way, Dan and Dago will be at the Chargers Giants game in New York, so
wow.
Nice.
he'll be taking a little bit of a break and going out
Who will
there.
be the starting quarterback when he does?
That's what Dan's excited for. Dan wants it to be Danger Russ.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I do. That would be glorious.
Don't get more subway, okay? Be careful out there.
I wouldn't have to worry about anything when I go over there.
Oh, you got a driver?
What are you talking about? With Danger Russ? I'm not gonna be worried about anything.
Oh.
That's gonna be an easy dub when I go in there.
No, I meant like
Gilbert,
you're getting mugged on the street.
Gilbert,
Oh,
work.
that's something else.
I
Yeah,
do
that
have
is
a
something
question
else.
for Gilbert. Did you take into consideration at all that the division has changed every season for the past 20 years? The division winner?
I guess I really don't get caught up with that, but I should have gone with the Cowboys if that's actually.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
picking
who
the
I would
Giants.
have
I'll tell
gone
you
with.
that. I could have gone with
Yeah.
the Cowboys, but it's just the Eagles, man. They have the schedule is freaking hard, but when you got a good O line, a good running back, and then you got Vic Fangio, like you mentioned, I'm confident. But I know that schedule is hard, so I'm not saying that I'm gonna take it to the bank. But also having that much faith in the Cowboys, you probably would never let me hear the end of it. By the way.
Tom, I don't think they'll be tanking for Arch. I think they're going to tank for the kid out of LSU. It's the offensive coordinator's son. The offensive coordinator of the Saints is his son is the quarterback at LSU right now. So I think that's who they would tank for. I like what Gilbert your premise is on all that. All right. Wow, you have the Detroit Lions going 14
that
and
worries
3.
me now.
I do worry a lot about the schedule, but they just fell
really
flat.
hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be a revenge tour. I feel like they're freaking motivated. They're pissed off from last year. I like the draft pick from Dan Campbell. They keep adding like nasty dudes in the trenches. They drafted a defensive tackle and an offensive guard in the first 2 rounds. They never waver from their philosophy. So I'm gonna stick with them.
Remember when you were a Neanderthal, Dan, for saying that?
And now all of a sudden he's saying you like those picks and moves. Like it's
I
crazy
like
to
this.
me.
I like this record, I like the Lions to win the division. My only worry with them is that they lost both of their coordinators. That's my only worry. Yeah, but one more thing though, Gilbert. I'm not. Maybe we'll agree here. They're the only team I have winning this. The only team making the playoffs from this division.
I agree.
Well,
I'm with you.
Next, Gilbert has the Chicago Bears at 9-8. The Bears were crowned again in the offseason winner thanks to a handful of notable moves, including a revamped offensive line that gained Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, and Drew Dahlman. But Caleb Williams' new offensive line won't get much time to settle in facing the Vikings' vaunted pass rush in the season opener.
Can we talk about I know we didn't put it on the storylines, but can we talk about the book that's coming out about Caleb Williams wanting to go to the Vikings and then like him not knowing how to study game tape?
Yeah. I mean,
he didn't know how to study game.
So he said that he sat by himself in the meeting rooms and he would just put on game tape and just watch.
Sitting there like a dumbass or what? Not knowing what's going on?
Pretty much. Like he had nobody to explain to him how to study.
I don't know if he knows this. This is the men's league, not the little boys league.
This is what Kurt Warner said. I never once had a coach sit down and teach me how to watch film. I might glean from watching film with them, but no one walked me through it. I watched, asked questions, and developed my own means of prep based on what I needed. Not saying the coaches should not have asked. They are coaches and should definitely know and help coach this. But I don't think a class in watching film is a normal practice at the NFL level, at least based on anything I've witnessed.
Did Lincoln Riley not help him, or what the hell?
I was about to say, like, what are we talking about? Like, this is football 101. Like,
again, let's go back to what Jackson Dart did with Gruden.
Oh yeah,
give me your snap count.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Are you?"
That's it. But that's the college game. That's the college game. You dumb down offenses or whatever. Because you have to win now. You can't develop guys. You can't build a program. You have to win now or you get fired. You get shit-canned. And, these guys, that's why I don't care if I'm playing NCAA 25 or if I'm trying to pick a quarterback for the future. Field generals are the only ones I get. I don't want improvisers. I don't want scramblers. That works well in college and everything else where everything's a little bit slower. Doesn't really work in the men's league. You have a few rare breeds.
Even Nick Saban didn't have time to develop. Remember, he had Jalen Hurts, and at one point he's like, you know what? I'm over this, and he moved on to Tua. And so that's kind of the thing that happens is that these guys have zero time. They need to win now. If not, they're going to be teams are going to move on. So I don't think I'm interested. I'm actually going to I want to ask Justin about this. I just don't know how he'll answer it. But
Boomer said, I don't know if you guys saw the Boomer clip. For once, I like what he said. All of a sudden, he's starting to come out of his shell a little bit.
What did he say?
He said something to the effect of, you're an entitled brat this is why we what's it called? Struck or went on strike to get you guys paid. Stop being a child. Be
I got it.
grateful. Oh, there you go. Okay, because I was paraphrasing. I don't remember any of it.
He's like, you made a great point.
It is a great point,
Why
but
my
that's to the
grandfather
effect.
fought in
Yeah.
the war.
Hey, shut up. That's
Think
true. Probably true.
Kids and their parents are nowadays, and that the level of entitlement is
Exactly. Preach.
breathtaking.
Yep.
And it's no wonder why he failed initially, and it's no wonder why the coach got fired. So now they go out and get an offensive coach in Ben Johnson, and you know what? Now it's on his ass. It's going to be on his ass to live up to these so-called lofty expectations that he has for himself and that his father has for his son. You know, and I understand, you know, that there could be a discussion. Hey, this is where quarterbacks go to die. Well, you know, go fix it. Be the reason that the team is going to turn it around and you be the player that you think you are.
I like this guy all of a sudden.
Yeah, and he can speak on it because he did that with the Bengals. I mean,
exactly. Like,
yeah.
What was so for some of you guys that don't know, there was a story that came out. Seth Wickersham is going to write a book, and he wrote about quarterbacks. And basically, Caleb Williams came out and said that he did not want to join he didn't want the Bears to draft him. He tried to have Daddy negotiate to get him around from not going to the Bears, but allegedly Ryan Poles basically told him, hey, we're drafting you. You better deal with it. We're taking you no matter what.
Like, to me, why is Ryan Poles committed to a guy who's not committed to his team? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I could have taken Jaden Daniels, honestly. It would have been maybe a favorite.
Some little rat who
and
paints
they
his
didn't
nails.
do their homework on any other quarterback because they were going to take Caleb.
These guys are meant for each other, pretty much.
Yeah.
According to the story, that's the reason.
Some little rat crying in the stands with his nails painted with mom and everything else comes to me and tries to tell me he doesn't want to come to my team. I'd tell him to kiss my ass, because you know what? Hopefully he would have slipped, and who knows where he's going. But that's the stupidest
like Eli
thing to
Manning
me.
and getting Phillip Rivers, your favorite quarterback.
They should have never have drafted him. That was the stupidest thing they could have
They
done.
pulled off a trade to get players.
Great.
But Vic, what was it? Where was Caleb's dad thinking about sending him so that he could sign as a free agent? The USFL?
Well, yeah, the USFL.
USFL.
Yeah, he wanted to kind of, and I honestly have no problem with that. Look, you do the best you can for your kid, especially as we saw with Jaden Daniels. Like, we saw what's been going on with his mom, and the fact that a lot of more of these kids are being represented by their parents, which I have no problem with. Like I said, and I'm with Dan. Like, I think, you know how we talk about with the NBA, a lot of the basketball, why it's so bad is because of AAU. I think the same thing is going on with football players and the whole 7-on-7 tournaments. Like, those are just bad for these guys. Like, outside of the only people that it has really helped has been receivers. We've seen like the receivers come in and be ready. Outside of them, the running backs are getting left behind. The quarterbacks haven't been as good as we thought. And then the other
and there's
thing
always
too,
fights coming out of
yes,
or
we
7-on-7.
saw what happened with Cam Newton.
Yeah, but my thing is going back to the Caleb thing is I understand, but we have to remember too, an agent is the one that kind of defends, and at times he's the one that takes the shots for the player. A parent is gonna feel personal. Like, remember with Lamar Jackson, the Ravens basically told him, you haven't won. The only team that you beat where I can't remember what team in the playoffs, you lost to the Tennessee Titans with only Derrick Henry. You haven't really been that kind of player. How can we pay you that kind of money? A mom or you're representing yourself is only going to hurt the relationship between you and the team, because you're going to be like, well, if you guys don't believe in me, why should I believe in you guys? Maybe I want to go elsewhere. Remember, I don't know how close he was to going to the Falcons, but I remember that was a team that was basically looking at him. But that's kind of the thing that we're going to face now with some players coming out and them trying to self-represent or have their parents representing them. But
we're going to see it again with Arch Manning. Right?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, they've already been through that in the past. So,
but the problem is,
but not everybody's like Arch Manning and the Manning family, where they've had 3 generations going into the 3rd generation of NFL players. But I just think we're headed for a slippery slope. And I feel like Caleb saying, I didn't want to go there, then you should have done. Caleb was nervous about the backlash because remember, he got backlash when he cried in his mom's arms after losing that game. He got backlash after saying, "I wish I could just go home, curl up with my dog."
Why is it out now? Why
watch
is it reported
Netflix.
now? They're so worried.
But that's
about
what
it.
I'm saying. Like, why did you say that for the book now? Like, this makes you look even worse because if you would have said it after you won a Super Bowl, great.
Yeah.
Or won a couple playoff games, great. But the fact that you're saying this after your rookie year,
With a new
and
coach,
on top of that,
gets more pressure.
but this is the thing. I don't think Caleb wanted to say this last year, like go into a whole Arch Manning with Eli Manning debate last year, because he thought, I've already caught a lot of hell. Imagine if I do this, it's going to look even worse on me. I'm going to look like a piece of crap.
If he cares that much about that, it's not a good approach. Block
I know.
that crap out.
And I think the whole thing was approached. I think him and his dad did the wrong. Ended up doing the best thing. But like I heard Rich Eisen and his wife on their show talking about, well, this makes Caleb look even better. Like all the licks that he took, it doesn't make him look better. To real NFL people,
He's soft.
He looks worse because he basically said, I don't want to play for that organization, when everybody in the past, except for Eli Manning, played for the team, and John Elway played for the team that basically drafted them. Those two were kind of the only ones that wanted to go their own route and go somewhere else. But I really
the entitlement and the stupidity of these teams is crazy to me. Like,
and remember, well,
dude, this dad would have cost his son millions of dollars by sending him to the USFL or whatever. Are you kidding me? You're getting paid millions to play a child's game.
That was another thing too. They don't like the rookie salary cap.
Yeah, of course they don't.
It's
of course
terrible,
they
and
don't.
that they think that his son should be making what Matthew Stafford. Was Matthew Stafford the last quarterback that? No. Matthew Stafford was the last quarterback that made the big rookie money. No,
it was Bradford.
Okay,
it was Bradford from
they
the
feel like
NFLPA and get it fixed.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
Yeah,
but
joke. I told you this since last year when you were high on them. Crazy.
Okay.
It's a joke,
Gilbert,
dude.
would you want to pay $45 million to a quarterback coming out of college?
No. So
and that's the thing, is that we still don't know what Caleb Williams is, because we don't know what Ben Johnson's going to be like as a head coach. Is he going to be like Brandon Staley, lock himself in a room with the offense and be like, I am the offensive coordinator. I'm the one that runs the offense.
That's why I can't pick him to make the playoffs. I worry about a first-year rookie head coach. That's why I wanted somebody more experienced for him.
Yeah, my last point here is going to be, like, this is where NIL kind of helps, like the NFL, where you have these quarterbacks that can stay in school longer, be able to develop, because you're getting more money. As they said, Caleb Williams made $10 million. I think either his last season at USC or throughout his college career. You know, and I think what hurts Caleb, and it hurt Bryce Young, is the fact that the quarterbacks that were drafted after him are having better careers so far, and that's why, like, you saw the Panthers fire their coach, and now you saw the Bears do the same thing. And don't be surprised. I don't see it this year with Cam Ward, but who knows? I mean, he might be someone that gets fired too. What's his name? Callahan. From Tennessee.
Cam Ward had to earn it though, which I like. Going from incarnate world, no star.
Yes.
Jaden Daniels had to earn it, being like nobody caring about him in Arizona State.
Honestly, if you had asked me if I thought Daniels was going to be good after Arizona State, I would have said no. But see, that's the thing.
He was really bad. He was really bad.
That's right. You go through that and you learn. Brock Purdy had to spend 5 years in college.
So are we going to give Brian Kelly some credit?
No. I think I would argue NIL.
Brian Kelly prepared him for, like, some of these coaches do prepare their quarterbacks well. I think Brian Kelly's one of them, but obviously
Brady Quinn? We've been on this for a while.
Quinn?
No, Charlie Weiss.
Okay.
He was at Cincinnati with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce right around that time.
Great.
All right, let's go back quickly to Gilbert's. That was a good conversation as well. Here's let's just go through it real quick.
That's why they're poisoning the league with these losers, dude. Like, it's just crazy to me.
Packers 7-10, Dan.
I love this. I'm gonna screenshot this. Send me the link to this thing. Send me the link to this thing. Let me send this to the cheese-eating bastard.
There you go, Dan. I screenshotted it.
Good.
Minnesota Vikings 7-10. Gilbert, I actually I agree with this. Their schedule is very tough.
That's an improvement from 3-14.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
We don't know what JJ McCarthy is going to be. We don't know if JJ McCarthy is actually going to be the quarterback. I I agree with their defense is going to be good, and they have weapons, but the quarterback play is going to be very interesting. Gilbert, do you think he's there for that Thursday night game against Jim Harbaugh?
Who is?
JJ McCarthy. It's like week 8, I think.
Unless Aaron Rodgers takes his job, I guess.
The doctor.
All right. Let's go now to the NFC South. Carolina Panthers 10-7.
Surprise.
Ooh, I like this.
Winning.
Wow.
Winning the division. Wow.
All
Sorry,
of the
Bucks.
Panthers' notable offseason moves include the first-round selection of wide receiver T-Mac could lead to them becoming the NFC surprise team with an improved roster. It's a make-or-break season for Bryce Young, who will get to play against rookie Travis Hunter. I thought week 1 should have been Travis Hunter against Cam Ward because they do play each other, but they ended up going with this. I was like, okay, I get it.
It's kind of the weakest week 1.
I actually am thumbs up with Gilbert.
Okay.
I think
people think
Carolina's going to be better.
All these Falcons fans, Saints fans, Buccaneers, they do not like me.
Oh, well, let's see. The Falcons 8-9. It's tough to tell whether Michael Penix getting only 3 starts as a rookie will help or hurt. So he has them at 8-9. The Buccaneers 8-9. It's otherwise not wise to doubt the Buccaneers, who have won 4 consecutive NFC title games. However, Baker Mayfield, who will be without former offense coordinator Liam Cohen, has a tough slate.
He's dead to him.
You know what's crazy? Speaking of Baker, Baker in the last 3 seasons leads the NFL in touchdowns and interceptions.
It was pretty damn good last year.
He was.
This is the toughest one for me, by the way.
Yeah, Baker was on fire. New Orleans Saints 3-14. You were the new
team. That means they're going 4-14-3.
If that happens twice, you're getting a T-shirt made or something.
If they win more than 6 games, I'll be shocked. I'll walk.
Dude,
like Paul
this would be the best thing that could happen for Kellen Moore. Honestly, you draft a quarterback for the future, you get a high pick. Like, it's not bad. Like, who cares in your first year?
Tyler Shuck.
Gilbert, there's rumors that there's going to be a joint practice between this team and another team in Los Angeles.
The Chargers or the Rams?
What is it? The ladder's the earlier one? No.
The ladder's
the ladder is the second one. The
former.
Okay, interesting. So are coming back.
NFC West, the Rams 12-5. For the Rams to become legitimate Super Bowl contenders, they will need to get faster starts in the past
Dan
years.
had them at 13-4.
No, I know I did.
I'm
just kidding.
3-6 in 2023, 1-4 last season.
Dan, they don't have a hard schedule.
Cost you some pizza, Dan.
Don't even remind me. Stupid Cardinals.
Cardinals 10-7. Dan.
I'm back on the boat. I'm back.
Oh wow.
The Cardinals faded fast after 6-4 last season. Maybe they'll finish better this season with the influx of talent. Josh Sweat, Will Johnson, Walter. Is Will Johnson even going to play? The Cardinals have a favorable schedule. Yeah, that's true. All right, next team, the San Francisco 49ers, 8-9.
Oh, wow.
The Seattle Seahawks, 6-11. I thought you had them making the playoffs.
Bottom dwellers.
No, I didn't. Sam Darnold's our starter. Why would I do that?
Oh, that's true. Am I so
good?
Who knows if Cooper Kupp will last?
I know you're high in the 49ers. I just don't see it with a veteran offense and an inexperienced defense. But the schedule's easy, but to me, they're too reliant.
Bob Saleh is back.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Robert Saleh.
All right, real quick, biggest 2025 NFL schedule release winners. Dan, why don't you go first?
I think I said the Bengals because they travel the least, right? Yeah, that's what I said.
8,000 miles, Dan.
What a joke. What a joke. And even
I will go next. I went with the Chiefs. The Chiefs.
I'm interested in this one.
The Chiefs' beginning part of the schedule is very tough, but remember, they start off the season really well under Andy Reid. The back end of their schedule is not very tough at all. So I feel like the NFL kind of helped them out with that ending schedule. So I thought they did a positive. I'm going to give another shout out. I know people don't like schedule releases. I'm not one of them that likes them. I thought the Rams hit it out of the park with my friend Brenda Strong.
Yeah, they did.
There's been a surge.
She don't age, huh?
In the Bay Area recently.
No, she looks great. You could tell she didn't join the devil worshiping cult.
There has been a surge in boombox sales in the Bay Area recently. And for those who don't know, a boombox is an oversized radio that was a pop culture staple in the 80s and the early 90s. The early 90s is also when the 49ers last won the Super Bowl.
Wow. Hilarious. That's hilarious.
I thought they killed it. I also thought that the Colts, my bad, Vic, real quick. I also thought the Colts killed it, but they backtracked, and I thought
they killed the video.
Killed it. I thought this was funny.
So you're saying this video is better than the Chargers Minecraft?
What
Oh,
is
dude,
up
I
with
thought-
Minecraft,
And
dude?
then
Like
Tyreek Hill should have left it up, Colts. This was funny.
Yeah, what the hell? I don't.
people are too
Oh, but it wasn't
soft
about copyright
nowadays.
though.
The
No,
copyright
I-
was because of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Which-
stupid. Minecraft, really? Minecraft?
Two teams did it.
It's but that shows you there's no original idea.
All right, we're not doing this again. Vic, why don't you give us yours?
But one did it better.
Mine, I went with one of them was the Rams. As you brought up, Brenda Song, that was really good
Shout
in
out.
terms of the video.
I love what you said at the beginning, by the way. I thought I was going to be brought back to like analyze the team
Yes.
and do this and do that, but I'll do this as well. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty,
and I thought they
pretty
got a
hard.
very, very favorable schedule as well.
They did.
So that's why I thought they're
They were
winners.
pissed
But
off
to
the
me, the
first week.
Minnesota Vikings, I mean, the fact that they don't have to go and travel to Pittsburgh or Cleveland late in the season as a dome team, you get to have those games back to back in Europe and be able to settle in for those 2 weeks. I thought that was huge for them. We'll see how it works out for them. But in terms of having to travel and for them not to be able to play outside as a dome team, I thought that was huge. So that's why they're a winner for me.
2 weeks on the
Over.
row. I don't know if players are gonna like that.
Bro, but that's what they're doing though. They're starting to experiment. The Vikings are going to be the first team. Oh no, Jacksonville's
The
done it
Jaguars,
before.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
I was surprised they didn't
Vikings-
get 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Vikings
2
are now
games.
going to do. They're going to do somebody else that doesn't want to actually be in London and see what they
Are
do.
they
But now
taking
my
a
question
ship?
is,
Are they taking
the
a
players-
ship?
huh?
The
Are they
Jaguars.
taking a ship across or what? The pond?
Are the Vikings going to be allowed to stay out, like go out and
What
hang
I
out in the
heard,
city
Fernando,
and do all
is
Why
that
wouldn't
they're flying late for that first game, and
Yeah, I
then
thought
they're
so.
staying, out
So,
there in Europe.
Joe Ortiz said that on Chargers Weekly. He said that they're planning on leaving early for that Brazil game because I think they said that I can't remember. I think he said when they were with the Ravens, one time they left a couple of times they left early for Europe trips. The other times they left late, and that they lost the ones that they left late on, and they won the ones that they left early. So
I like that.
so yeah, that's gonna have to be a Gilbert thing, Angel, to get
he's
around.
gotta
the
Yeah,
road.
we're
I'd
we're
rather
gonna
talk
try.
I'd rather talk to her than Heelberto's hero over there. That's for sure.
Who is my hero?
Oh,
Macaulay
how,
Culkin?
how much time? No, no.
MK.
How much,
Dude,
how
I
much
met
time do
him
you
at
have?
the WWE on Raw and Netflix. He's so
Oh, yeah?
short. I was
Yeah.
like, hi, Macaulay, and then he's like, hi, and then he just walked by. I'm like, oh,
You're like,
I
how
was kinda
awkward.
starstruck.
I
was
love
kinda
the
starstruck.
relationship.
I'm not gonna
by the
lie.
way.
I like Urkel better.
Yeah.
You like who better?
Urkel. No.
Her?
It's always good
I-
to Fernando. Urkel
real
and him
life.
have a good relationship.
Oh yeah.
Every
Urkel,
home
yeah.
game, I always dap him out. I'm always like, what's up, man?
Hey,
My name was not
Heelberto,
Urkel.
are they gonna have to hoist the sails on the wooden boat to get out there? Or?
Yeah.
I
right,
want you to
on
ask
the boat.
him. I want you next time you see him,
Yeah.
Fernando.
Who?
I want you to ask him about him being in Star Wars because I thought that was really cool.
Macaulay?
No, Urkel.
Jaleel?
Yeah,
He was in Star Wars.
yeah.
What
Which
Star
one?
Wars?
He was in that show, the kids show.
Clone Wars.
Huh?
Clone Wars.
No. Hold on. Go ahead and I'll get it for
Gilbert,
you.
go ahead.
Is it my
Gilbert,
turn?
you're-
Oh. Yeah. Again, these Cowboys, man. Look at the first
How
5
about
weeks.
them Cowboys?
They might be 4-1 or 5-0. Like they get the Bears and the Jets on the road. Those are winnable games. They get the Packers and the Giants at home. They're going to be favored in all 4 games. And then they get my Panthers in week 5 in Carolina. A little tough, but all 5 games they're probably going to be betting favorites right there.
All right,
Heelberto was
Dan,
thinking about this in the shower.
Dan, are you ready?
What?
Cowboys at Eagles to start the first game of the season.
Yeah, besides
they'll
that one.
lose. They'll
Vic,
lose.
can you take this down?
Yeah, I got you.
They play the Giants at home
Oh, they'll beat the Giants.
at Bears.
Oh,
Come
okay.
on.
Yeah, I guess they'll beat the Bears. Yeah,
At home against the Packers.
Easy.
they'll beat the Packers.
At Jets.
Come on.
They'll beat the Jets. Okay, now I see what you're talking about. I
At
thought I just had
Panthers.
this.
At
Panthers?
Yeah, at Panthers.
They could be 5-1, bro.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They can
At
lose to the Panthers, Dan. That's a Heelberto's
I
pick.
guess.
They could. They
I
could.
guess.
4-2.
I
Fine.
4-2.
All right.
Yeah,
They
that's a
play the
solid start.
Commanders at home.
Toss up.
I feel like I just think in year 2, you could see a sophomore slump. Who knows? They caught everybody by
Broncos.
surprise.
So did he
I
say
don't
win for
know.
the?
Okay, Dan gave up. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't. I can't.
Okay, I
tell
made
you.
my point. It's an easy
All right.
schedule to start.
Yeah,
Let's
it
go
is.
down
It
to
is.
which 4 to 7 teams will make the playoffs next year. I'll go first because I want to give Gilbert credit. We were same thought process. I went with the Panthers. I think the Panthers. I like what we saw. Gilbert, a head
my
coach in 2024 that sits a player and brings in Andy Dalton. A lot of who knows how many players would have rebounded and said, you know what, I'm taking this and I'm going to shove it straight up your ass. Dave Canales is a first-year head coach, decided to do this. Bryce Young took it, ran with it, and ended up performing really well. They took the Chiefs to the end of the game last year. They took some other teams by surprise, and they beat them. So
The Bucks game was great.
yeah,
too.
the Bucks game was great too. I think they played the Falcons really well too. So I agree with Gilbert. I have the Panthers making it. The Colts, I think Houston's gonna have a hard time coming out of the out of it. They're gonna have a tougher schedule. They got rid of some of their offensive line players. I know their defense is good. Falcons, I know you got them 8-9. For some reason, I feel like they have the weaponry. They got better on defense. I have them making the playoffs. The Patriots, it's going to be really tough. I think Drake May will not have a rookie slump. I think they're going to rely a lot on the running backs. I think that defense is going to be a lot better. And the Will Campbell, I think, will he won't get any love for rookie of the year, but I think he's going to be pretty damn good at left tackle for them. So those are the 4 teams that I have. Gilbert.
Yeah, what did I have? Yeah, you guys know the Cowboys already. I'll add to the Panthers.
Oh, the Jets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll add to the Panthers because look at their O-line was so good last year and their running game. So if you're worried about Bryce Young, I get it, but you have those 2 things down, you're going to compete. And they added a lot of weapons to the defense.
I think the Chargers only sacked them once last year.
Oh, really? Okay, there you go.
Them.
And then Derek Brown is going to be healthy. So people make fun of this pick here, but at least Fernando's in my corner. And then the Cardinals, I thought about this long and hard. Sorry, pause. But Kyler Murray just really stunk it up last year. That's why I couldn't get myself to go there. But it could be a better season for Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe the OC and Kyler meet in the middle and they figure out a better scheme for him. He's not a patient quarterback. He wants to run and create, which Stan hates, but he was uncomfortable with that. But defensively, Jonathan Gannon, look at their roster the last 2 years. He always makes his defense competitive. Now you bring in Josh Sweat. You get a veteran like Calais Campbell to help out Dalvin Tomlinson, also to help out the rookie and Walter Nolan, who's supposed to have the most upside from the defensive tackles. And then if Will Johnson, if he's healthy, he's supposed to be the best cornerback in the draft. So, and you got Budda Baker still. So to me, if that defense is better, I'm going to buy. They won, I think, 8 games last year, and they keep improving, maybe get 10. The Jets are kind of a little bit of a stretch here. But look at their offense again. More of the theme. The offensive line: Cowboys, Panthers, Jets have good O lines. Cardinals, whatever. But they got the Mizzou guy to play right tackle. Fashanu was a first round last year. Vera Tucker is there. Tippmann was a second round pick. Look at the O line; it's gonna be good. So just run the damn football with Justin Fields and Breece Hall. You'll be okay, and the defense is pretty good. And you got Mason Taylor too, by the way.
Dan, what position does he play again?
Who?
Justin Fields.
Oh yeah, he plays running back.
They're gonna get blown out of the wild card, but they're gonna win a bunch of games.
Best running backs in the league.
They're gonna make it.
Vic.
Run the football.
All right, I got you. As we've seen, like since the league went to 17 games, we've seen 7 teams, we've seen 6 teams, and we've seen 4 teams last season make the playoffs. I'm saying 5 teams make the playoffs just to kind of go with the trend there. As I talked about with the 49ers, you said it with Gilbert with the Cardinals. I feel like one of these teams is going to make the playoffs. I just went like we've seen, as long as you have a quarterback that they have that in Brock Purdy, they have the coach in Shanahan. I think what we saw from the Rams a couple of years ago is what they're going to do. Now, I know a lot of people, there's no expectations with the 49ers and the Cowboys. That's why I have them making the playoffs. And also, like I said, there's going to be a new team that wins that division in the East. We've seen it every year. Even when we think it's not going to happen, one of those teams, goes in there and wins that division. I think I'm with you, Fernando, in terms of the AFC South. I think someone else is going to win it, whether, I almost went with the Titans because I'm usually a year early with some of these picks. and I just went with the Jaguars. I like what they've done this offseason. Gladstone has done a good job of bringing in talent, and so I said, well, who's the second best quarterback in that division? And I went with the Jaguars here, and so that's why I'm just taking a flyer. I'm being completely honest on the Jaguars. It was between them and the Titans. I just went with the Jaguars. I had to pick another NFC team just because it's going to be kind of limited in the AFC. I feel like I almost had the Raiders in here, but I was like, I'm not making that mistake anymore. I'm done. So I went with the Falcons here. I was just like, I didn't want to go because I'm with you guys on the Panthers. That's who I would have gone with, but I was like, you know what? Give me the Falcons just to be a little different. And then the same thing with the Bengals. Do I think they will do I think they're going to beat a bunch of teams? No, I just think they're going to have to outscore a lot of teams with Joe Burrow. And so I just feel like they didn't make the playoffs last season. So I feel like they'll probably get in at 9-8, something like that. Like they'll barely scrape in.
I think their defense is going to be so bad.
I'm with
Get
you.
the rookie to sign their contract. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's even crazier. And then you have
Yes.
Schultz and beat reporters getting pissed at each other. Don't forget who reported this first.
Oh
That was pretty funny. Yeah,
that's
somebody
fight, huh?
came at him today. All right, you guys. Dan usually goes against the grain. Dan,
Yes.
give us 4 teams that will not make the playoffs next year.
Easily. Bengals, we've
Okay.
seen this story before with that, receiving core. Didn't do it last year. I don't know what's going to change this year with the worst defense. Chiefs, I hate them. It's time. Their pact with the devil should be over by now. Let them fall to obscurity. I'm sorry to attack HEELberto's quarterback out there who paints his nails, cries about everything. I don't know how good they're going to be. I know everybody trying to hype up Ben Johnson, but we're going to have to wait and see. Different personnel, different
Who's their
players.
defensive coordinator?
Oh, it's Dennis Allen. I'm pretty sure it is. So Packers,
Dan?
obviously LaFleur's just come back. Not a big guy, not a big fan of his. And
Nobody's not going to be happy
3 out
about
of 4.
that, Dan.
and I think objectively, like LaFleur started off hot, and then he's kind of fizzled and hasn't been able really to figure it out and make it a little bit
You're
deeper in the
unbiased.
playoffs. So I don't have my journalism shirt on today, but I am unbiased. People don't understand that.
Okay.
But so
3 out of 4, I agree.
especially like I don't like we've already
Nobody's
seen,
not going to be happy about that last pick, Dan.
oh, they're not going to be happy when I send them this article. They're going to think, who's that HEELberto guy? That guy's a shithead, but I can't wait to send them that. But like I said,
The one time he promotes
exactly.
Gilbert.
Oh, that's extra.
No, he promoted him last year when he said the Vikings were going to go 3-4.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. Especially the division might get tougher with, if the Bears are at least competitive or better. So, obviously, I think the Lions will still win it, but that's what I'm gonna go with.
All right, good segment there, guys. I know we
We can skip burial of the week.
I just wanted to show
That's
real
not
quick.
money.
It is the NBA Finals
No one
or
cares.
semifinals.
No one cares.
Conference.
Last year around. I think it
Berto
was
wants to
summer-
talk about his Kraken. Damn it! Talk about his Kraken.
I think it was.
Are they in the hockey
I think it
playoffs?
was around SummerSlam. Tyrese Halliburton and
Oh yeah.
and what's
Oh,
his name?
God.
And
Jalen
Jalen Brunson faced
Jalen
each other
Brunson.
in the ring. Well, this is what Josh Hart, former
His
Laker, had to
basketball
say
talk,
about that today.
Ooh.
Yesterday.
What
What it
happened
looks
to
like
him?
now. Wow.
First matchup, you guys played in the second round last year, then they right in the WWE room, and now they meet again, a chance to go to the NBA Finals. What do you think of that matchup?
He has a black eye.
WWE wrote a great script, so
Oh,
there's going to be a lot of guys that's going to be trying to get on WWE this summer. But no, I mean they're two of the best point guards, not just in the East, but in the league, and it's going to be fun. They both have two different playing styles. Obviously, JB.
What's his name? Triple H did tweet out. What did he tweet?
Almost
He
like we
tweeted-
wrote it or something.
It's almost like we wrote it. So I thought that was
Steel trap.
pretty
Oh, I like
creative
his style.
by him.
NBA talk, guys. I
No
gotta
one
have
cares
every
about
sport.
the Lakers anymore.
Is this
It's a
fair or
shame.
foul? Natalia, we've had her on the show before. Natalia, did you see what she did to a fan?
Natty? Is she AEW now?
Fuck the shit out of her. I wonder what happened.
What low budget event is this?
I don't know.
Wow. That's crazy.
What happened to her
Why,
career?
why does Natty deserve that
think
slander?
she went, like, she asked for
Jesus.
permission to go outside of WWE to compete in something.
Nobody
Yeah,
wants
but
to do
like,
this.
Who
unless
knows?
it's a stage, like that's a bad look.
That's
Because like you
crazy.
said, you let her go out there and do
Yeah,
this.
who knows what it
I'm
was?
surprised she hasn't been
Honestly,
released. Is that the nepotism there or what?
I don't know.
What
The
are you
last
talking
two
about?
things, and we will let you guys go. Dan, I know you missed this guy.
I apologize, but I'm gonna hurt this man.
Oh,
don't apologize.
Come
Exactly.
out and smack your faces, you understand?
Smack the shit out of him, Tribal Chief.
You guys around here, huh? I'm squeezing the life
perfect heel.
Make him go to sleep. Make him retire.
extra.
Orphan his children if you need to, my Tribal Chief.
I'm the greatest of all
Yes, my
time.
Tribal
They
Chief.
don't belong in the ring with me.
He's a bum.
The work you put in.
Exactly. Facts.
Are we just taking the time to acknowledge the run that he had?
Don't clap, my Tribal. Don't clap.
I mean,
You need me.
We need you, my
They
Tribal
do-
Chief.
They do
We need you.
him.
Your tribal chief.
My Tribal Chief, I acknowledge you. My Tribal Chief. I
When is
love
he coming back?
you.
He coming back
my
soon?
Tribal
Yeah,
Chief.
we need him back on WWE.
Dan,
Bro,
Peter
I got my
Schrager.
Tribal Chief.
I know I'm
outfit. ready
playing
to
with
go.
fire on this one. Peter Schrager said, "Don't sleep on the Chiefs. That they're just touting. I will
Get
not
this
be the
bullshit
one."
off the fucking screen. I'm done with this guy. I'm not a fan of his.
And
I
then,
think I
these
should have
guys
put
are
him in the
bummed.
burial because he was on Pat McAfee talking about basketball. I'm like, aren't you an aren't you an NFL
Dude,
reporter?
It's getting so bad that they're doing this. Like, just stay away. Last thing, you guys all have relatives that come in from Mexico and stuff like that. What is the one place that they want to go eat?
In and out.
Is it?
Oh, good job, Dan. So in
In and out.
Guadalajara, Jalisco,
Do you not
They
have
made-
family
no.
come in?
they
just
made
cook at home.
Oh
They
yeah,
cook for us.
Jesus.
and out.
That's hilarious. Is that
An In-N-Out
Japanese? What is
copycat
that?
Restaurant
This is
called
real?
In-N-Out is gaining social media attention in Guadalajara, featuring slim burger patties, orange cheese, thin cut fries,
That's
red
hilarious.
trays.
Can't get
Despite the
sued?
resemblance,
I don't know.
In-N-Out is cheap. Offers slightly cheaper prices with a double combo costing
Is that
$12.
chili fries?
Wait, where is? Oh, pesos. Oh, it's in Mexico. You said Mexico City?
Yeah, no, Guadalajara.
Oh, the problem is they have the same little palm trees.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
They got the two little arrows going.
This
Yeah,
is like
that's
the version of
hilarious.
McDonald's from Coming to
Oh.
America.
One arrow, we got
That
two
is
arrows here.
And
hilarious.
Chinga Burger.
And Chinga Burger.
That's a good one too.
Wow.
Doble, un doble, por favor.
I want to go check out one of these now. They're actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
for real, dude. Everything looks the exact same. Yeah.
Oh, they come with bacon there.
Ándale.
Bacon
You see the
extra.
Moon Det? What the fuck? Or sorry, what's a Moon Det?
Where is that?
Mountain Dew Light, maybe under
Oh
Sprite.
yeah, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
There you go.
Wow.
Me da una Sprite.
I wonder if, like, yeah, I
Pinga.
wonder. I don't think they could hit them. I mean, I don't know. It looks
can't.
different.
Whoa,
They need
remember-
to add some horchata and some tamarindo
I know,
up in
for
there.
real.
Oh no, thanks. I'm
Don't
not a
don't
fan.
forget. Remember, so on the border to go into TJ, they used to have a sign, a guy that had liposuction and like ass
Yeah.
injections, and he had a picture of Kim Kardashian. And somebody took a picture and put it on Twitter. Kim's people reached out to them and said, "You guys have 12 hours to take that sign down, or we're gonna sue you." And they took it down.
Well, yeah,
like,
obviously
mean,
that's
there's
her
so much
likeness.
stuff
That's
that
her
goes down there
likeness.
too. Yeah.
But that's not like it's kind of like a bastardization of it.
Oh,
wow.
yeah,
Shout out, Jesse.
Jesse,
Oh.
you're right. Thank you so much.
Shout out, Jesse.
Hopefully, they serve the same cow meat that helped my boy.
You get strong, man.
Allegedly.
There you go.
He's
Get like
gonna
Hulk
sue
Hogan.
them.
Oh my
Get like
god.
Hulk
Okay.
Hogan, baby.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of the Four Compas. You guys are the best. Next week, Dan will not be here on Tuesday.
not.
He will be on vacation, so no
I
Dan
will.
next
Another
Tuesday.
one?
Are you shitting me? Another one?
Came back
bitch?
from Austin.
Really? Mister, I've been off for 2 months, missed the biggest
Oh,
event, and
I don't
then
think
I
you're a
wake up at
father. I
11.
don't think you have responsibility that I have. You're out there
Let me-
party.
Let me
and
tell
trying
you
to
what
get
I
on Hinge.
identify as, and then you'll understand. I identify as someone who needs a break.
All right, get on Hinge and go date. You vacation
Yeah. Maybe I'll go to a Catholic single. We'll see.
whore.
Appreciate you guys so much. Everybody's this was a great show. We had some good laughs. some
We'll
good
never find
info.
out, Angel. We'll never
You
find
got-
out why John Cena became The Rock's bitch.
You guys are the best. Appreciate it. Don't forget to smash the like button, like, comment, subscribe. We got some good stuff coming up. so-
go on vacation whenever I need to. It's the end of the year.
Okay.
Kiss my ass.
Why
That's his
still
burial of the
talking
week.
about it?
You think you're my sorry, boss? I should have put the time off in my
You should have.
fucking email. Yeah, right.
I have to find that on camera. What kind of crap is that? Be professional.
I'm
Caleb
not
Williams
gonna-
over here. Okay, can we get out of
All
here?
right,
let me write my tell-all book.
Gilbert, get us out of here.
Yeah, write a book that I want to hear about all the crap you think about me. But
I
enjoy
love you.
vacation. I'm
I love
kidding.
you.
You earn it. You're the best in the biz. You do it all.
Okay, you
Victor,
don't
take a
need to
vacation.
kiss my ass
Fernando never takes a vacation. You need to do it. Take your brother with you. Every time you go on vacation, go by yourself. Not thinking about it. Take your brother.
Whoa,
Yep.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Take your brother.
whoa.
And nos vamos,
Whoa.
pues. Let's go to In and Out. Vámonos.